Dragons Radio Network. Tonight's game is brought to you by Sun South, Hydra Live, Mr. Sparky, Express Printing, BioLife Plasma, Pepsi, Vector Ply, Zelmo Zip-In, Houston Clinic, Columbus Diagnostic, Kinetic Credit Union, IGH Properties, Trivoli's, Shredaway, Nuke's Eatery, West Georgia Oral and Facial Surgery, Victoryland, Wade Cleaners, and PMB Broadcasting. Now, let's head to the broadcast booth for the start of the Air Force Heating and Air pregame show. Here's the voice of the River Dragons, Tom Callahan.
Maybe not Tom Callahan, but a former voice of the River Dragons, Zach Debeaussaert, joining you alongside here as the Columbus River Dragons get ready to take on the Carolina Thunderbirds in the second of two in what's sure to be a very fiery game compared to what these two Southern rivals put out onto the ice on Friday. Tom Callahan, he's out for the weekend. We wish him all the best as he's handling some personal matters, but he'll be back on the call coming up next weekend when these two teams play again. It just so happens that the location will be in Columbus, and the way the Piedmont Triad and Winston-Salem area have shown out for their Thunderbirds, Columbus better show up for their River Dragons. Last night, an 8-2 victory for the Carolina Thunderbirds. We talked with head coach Jerome Debeaussaert at length about it, and one of the main points he said was just they came out fast and they never let up. So the first 5 to 10 minutes, absolutely a big part of that game, and we'll see if it'll be a big part of today's game. Now, it wouldn't be a Federal Prospects Hockey League game, at least in my eyes, if there wasn't some sort of weirdness, some sort of strangeness going on, and it has not taken long for that to happen. And if you can see on the YouTube stream, those of us watching along on YouTube, you'll notice the Carolina Thunderbirds are out there warming up. We are just now seeing the Columbus River Dragons stepping onto the ice, and there are 10 and a half minutes left in the warm-up clock. Normally, warm-ups are, depending on location and depending on the building, 16 to 18 minutes. So whatever the longer pregame talk from Jerome Debeaussaert to his guys, we will see how it just ends up working out as we are here live on the Air Force Heating and Cooling pregame show. Like talking about last night's game, again, 8-2, and the Thunderbirds, they really had their biggest stars show up, yet it was 8 different goal scorers. When you looked at the box score at the end of the day, you had Gus Ford, Peter Panachik, John Butita, and Yuri Peshtuka all with 3-point nights, yet 8 different goal scorers finding the back of the net, ending up chasing Brendan Colgan from the game. Ty Hunter would come in. We're anticipating Colgan to jump right back into it and get what would be his 5th straight start, but once we get to starting lineups, we will find that out and confirm it for you. But all that being said, you have to have a short memory. That's what Jerome said in his interview, and that's what every professional hockey player knows. It's a long season. You're going to have ups and downs, and, well, last night was just a down for the River Dragons. It was a very rare down because at 23-3-1, they are far and away the best in the FPHL, certainly in the Continental Division, whereas Carolina now at 17-7-1, third in the Continental. They are 20 points back on the River Dragons, though reminder, the FPHL plays on a 3-point system akin to college or Olympic hockey. However, because the Thunderbirds have played fewer games compared to the Port Huron Prowlers, who had a much heavier start to their season, they're actually ahead of them when it comes to points percentage, which for a long time is how this league liked to rank their teams. So that gives you a pretty good idea just how strongly matched these two teams are. And, of course, whenever it's a rivalry game, you just sort of throw out those record books and just go at the guy next to you. Doesn't matter if you're 15-1 or 1-15. In a rivalry game, you play for pride and you play to win. And Carolina certainly did that last night. Will Columbus be able to do that tonight? We will find out. We're going to take our first break on the Air Force Heating and Cooling pregame show. When we come back, we'll start to break down some of the news and notes from this one. Also later in the show, we'll hear from the head coach, Jerome Debeaussaert, as we gear you up for a 6:05 puck drop here in Winston-Salem. I'm Zach Debeaussaert. We're back right after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Fans, the seasons are changing and it's game time. There's no better time to make sure your heating and air system is working like it should. Call Air Force Heating and Air today for our special $69 tune-up offer. With an Air Force tune-up, a certified and trained technician will perform a comprehensive inspection and duct inspection. This can help reduce utility costs and prevent costly repairs. Schedule your tune-up today. Call 706-223-1945. We're always here when you need us. Air Force Heating and Air.
River Dragons hockey is more fun in a group. Come celebrate your birthday, anniversary, reunion, and more. Get 10 or more people together to enjoy the best available seating, a special VIP entrance, group recognition at the game, a visit from Scorch or Torch, and more. Plus, you can add on options like Chuck-a-Pucks, souvenir hats or pucks, and even a team gear shopping spree. Groups of 30 or more get a post-game photo on the ice. Group perks are only available through the River Dragons office by calling 706-507-4625.
At the Country Inn and Suites by Radisson, you'll enjoy comfortable accommodations close to Columbus State University, Fort Benning, and of course, the River Dragons games. Conveniently located at 1720 Fountain Court in Columbus, you'll be minutes away from all your favorite Columbus destinations. Free high-speed Wi-Fi and hot breakfast always available too. So whether you're staying for business or for pleasure, make your next stay in Columbus a comfortable one at the official hotel partner of the River Dragons, Country Inn and Suites by Radisson.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. We all count on our home's electrical outlets to provide us the power we need when we need it. But sometimes an overloaded circuit can lead to a blown outlet, so leave it to the pros at Mr. Sparky. We'll get it done right and get it done safely. Call now for $50 off electrical repairs.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Zach Debeaussaert back here with you in the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. No, do not adjust your dials. Do not check your calendars. It is a one-time special thing. Tom Callahan, he's back in Arizona handling to some personal business. Don't worry, he'll be back on the call. Coming up next weekend, it's a familiar face too, Carolina Thunderbirds, but this time they are home. The River Dragons, they are home, taking on these Carolina Thunderbirds. It's the 4th birthday bash for Scorch and Torch on Friday, January 20th. Come celebrate with our favorite Dragons and their mascot friends. Puck drop is at 7:30. Then Saturday, January 21st is Hometown Heroes Night, presented by Kinetic Credit Union. Join us in celebrating our local fire, EMS, police, city, and municipal workers too. Hometown Heroes get a buy one, get one deal for upper-level tickets through the River Dragons box office, and single-game seats are on sale now through the Civic Center box office by calling 706-653-4460 or online at Ticketmaster.com. We're gearing you up for a 6:05 puck drop here between the Dragons and the Thunderbirds. Some news and notes and, well, some unfortunate suspensions to come out of last night's game. For Columbus, 2 players suspended from last night's game that'll be out of the lineup. Edgars Ozelinch, who many suspected would definitely get some sort of suspension, ends up picking an 8-gamer for his actions near the end of the third period in last night's loss. And I tried to look back at some of the film. Now, I will let you know I've had limited time to prep in the course of today. So when the news broke that Kirk Underwood was also suspended for 4 games, quite a hefty penalty when you consider the nature of everything, was a little bit shocked to see that as well. So Kirk Underwood and Edgars Ozelinch not available for head coach Jerome Bichard today. We will see how he juggles his lines and deals with the loss, especially on the back end. Edgars Ozelinch provides plenty of size. And, well, if you look at his line so far this year with 3 goals, he actually has almost made it to his career high all the way back in, I want to say, the 2014-15 season, talking about Steel City. He had a 4-goal season. Of course, Ozo not known for his goal scoring, but always nice when the big man's able to put one in there. And really everybody up and down has been scoring for the River Dragons, and only finding the back of the net twice last night. They will certainly hope that they find more offense behind the likely starter for Carolina, Mario Cavallari. Cavallari was great in a 31-shot, 29-save effort for the Thunderbirds. He has a 10-4-1 record, 3.30 goals against, and an .895 save percentage. And you can hear the crowd and the cowbells rocking here in the annex. Building still filing in. Again, it's a 6:05 puck drop. We're one of the earliest games to go in terms of the Fed today 10-team league. We do have 5 games to tell you about. And Motor City and Port Huron will get themselves going in the Battle of Michigan, or the I-94 War, I believe is what it's being called. But this time it is at McMorran Arena. They will also drop puck with us at 6:05. Then moving over to 7 o'clock, you got Elmira at Delaware. The Thunder have had a struggle of a season, but the Mammoth, they have started to pick themselves up and are trying to climb the standings in the Empire Division, and perhaps that game with Delaware could be a good catalyst for them. Also another in-state battle inside New York. This one's going to go to veterans in Binghamton, Watertown Wolves at Binghamton Black Bears. That rivalry has really blossomed. Of course, the defending Commissioners Cup champion Watertown Wolves, their 3rd championship of such in this league, but Binghamton very, very strong in their 2nd year of action, and friend of the show and friend of the River Dragons, Branch Sherwood, right now acting as their interim head coach. And then at 8:05, 7:05 local out in Biloxi, the Danbury Hat-Tricks take on the Mississippi Seawolves. That's your look around the FPHL. We're going to go ahead and take another break as teams are just about concluding warm-ups here at the Annex. We'll bring you more of the Air Force Heating and Air pregame show after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Game changer. That's why Houston Sports Medicine Team provides urgent ortho care, Saturday morning injury clinics during hockey season, and an emergency room at Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. An injury can be a game changer, and immediate evaluation and care can be a game changer too. For more information, go to Houston.com or call 706-324-6661.
Hey, sports fans, it's game time. There's no better time to make sure your heating and air system is working like it should. As the official air conditioning sponsor of the Columbus River Dragons, we're excited to be able to offer you our special $69 tune-up offer. With an Air Force tune-up, a certified and trained technician will perform a comprehensive inspection and duct inspection. This can help reduce utility costs and prevent costly repairs. Schedule your tune-up today. Call 706-813-1935. We're always here when you need us. Air Force Heating and Air.
Craving a burrito, some nachos, or maybe even a quesadilla? Head to Barbaritos. Their menu includes only the freshest ingredients, and your order is custom made how you want it on the spot. Barbaritos is founded on freshness, and everything from our handmade guacamole to our marinades are made right in-house. And don't forget, you can order online at barbaritos.com or through our handy mobile app. Barbaritos. Food, community, people.
While the River Dragons handle pests on the ice, Orkin takes care of rodents and pests at your home or business. Locally owned and operated, Orkin creates a custom pest plan specifically for you. Orkin can help eliminate and control mice, bed bugs, ants, roaches, stinging insects, and cockroaches, just to name a few. Remember, they're not happy until you're happy, so visit Orkin.com for a free estimate and trust the only pest control service the Dragons trust, Orkin. Now, if they could just control Seawolves and Thunderbirds.
Zach Debeaussaert here with you in the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. We are gearing you up for a 6:05 puck drop between your Columbus River Dragons and the Carolina Thunderbirds. In that last segment, we talked about some of the news and notes ahead of this one. Columbus going to be without 2 skaters from last night's defeat. Kirk Underwood and Edgars Ozelinch each picked up suspensions. Underwood 4 games, Ozelinch for 8 games for their actions relating to a brawl near the midway to end part of the 3rd period. Over on the other side of things for Carolina, their lineup can remain virtually unchanged when you're talking about the guys who were scratched versus the guys who played. Well, you look at their lineup and you see Jarrett Meyer actually hasn't been here all year. He has, according to Brett Wiseman, the Thunderbirds play-by-play man, with Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs, Jeff Burridge has been inactive, and Justin Pringle and Dawson Baker have been injured, at least to some degree. At least that's what we've been told. So those were the 4 scratches. So if you're head coach Garrett Rutledge of the Carolina Thunderbirds, I mean, you're certainly looking at it in terms of don't fix what isn't broke. Now, we did potentially hear that there is a murmur that Boris Babick could be getting the start for the Thunderbirds as opposed to Mario Cavallari. I said Cavallari because I saw Cavallari heading off the ice first for the Thunderbirds in terms of warm-ups. Usually, in terms of the little minutia you look for in warm-ups, the first goalie off is more than likely the starter, so he's allowed to get into the room, get into his headspace, maybe do some extra off-ice type of drills. And as we say that, if the YouTube feed doesn't really follow it on warm-ups, but it looks like Brendan Colgan might be making his way over to the dressing room to finish off his warm-ups, and that would let you know that Colgan likely starter for the Columbus River Dragons. Of course, we will get to that point when we get our starting lineups passed to us here on Press Row here in Winston-Salem. Again, this is a very familiar voice, I'm sure, for a lot of you. It's Zach Debeaussaert back for one game. Tom Callahan, he's out with some personal business to handle back in Arizona, where he came from to get here to Columbus. I'm not sure if he's ever told the story, and I'll leave it to him if he has told it, of how exactly he got to being here in Columbus. But I'll just tell you, it's a very Fed-worthy story. Sometimes you just get dipped into the pool that is fed, and sometimes you just get baptized in it. And for Tom, it just seemed like he got baptized in it from the start, but been doing a phenomenal job, and it's been a very good hockey team he's been able to call thus far. The River Dragons 23-3-1. However, they're on a one-game losing streak. They had their 9-game winning streak snapped in that 8-2 defeat here at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. There were 90 penalty minutes in that game between the two teams. The River Dragons, well, they led the way in that department with 50 of them. We take a look at the special teams battle today. That was one of the many facets that the Carolina Thunderbirds excelled at last night. They had a 2-for-7 mark on the power play, whereas Columbus was 0-for-7. Now, obviously in an 8-2 game, 2 power play goals won't end up making the difference, but definitely when you get special teams goals, it really boosts you up. So Carolina on that 2-for-7, they are third best in the FPHL in terms of power play at 21% on the year. However, River Dragons are best in the FPHL on the kill, 86.1%, though they are trailed just so by the Carolina Thunderbirds with an 86% kill rate. River Dragons, their power play might need to pick it up. Of the one thing you could maybe say is just behind on this team in terms of their great record, great goal scoring output, and everything going well for them, their power play only ranks 7th in the 10-team league at 16.7%. Scoring 1 out of every 6 times, perhaps not bad, but maybe a click you want to score at just a little bit more. And we'll see if that comes into battle at all for the River Dragons. We're going to go ahead and take another break. When we come back, you will hear from the head coach, Jerome Bichard, our extended interview with him, getting to catch up with the head coach, at least from my own perspective, being away for a while. And he tells you all about what happened on Friday and how the team retools, gears up, and looks to reverse the result here on a Saturday night. It's Carolina and Columbus, 6:05 puck drop here at the Annex. We are back on the Air Force Heating and Air pregame show after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Service located at 3109 Victory Drive in Columbus is the perfect place to take care of everything your vehicle needs. From preventive maintenance to alignments, brakes, oil changes, and more, your friends at Complete Tire and Service have you covered. Need tires? Buy 3, get 1 free for passenger vehicles. Call 706-321-8133 to set up your appointment. 321-8133. Complete Tire and Service on the web at ctstires.com. Hey, sports fans, the seasons are changing and it's game time. There's no better time to make sure your heating and air system is working like it should. Call Air Force Heating and Air today for our special $69 tune-up offer. With an Air Force tune-up, a certified and trained technician will perform a comprehensive inspection and duct inspection. This can help reduce utility costs and prevent costly repairs. Schedule your tune-up today. Call 706-223-1945. We're always here when you need us. Air Force Heating and Air.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Welcome back to the Air Force Heating and Air pregame show. It's now time for Inside the Lair, and our guest is Jerome Bichard. Jerome, hey, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, Zach, good to hear your voice. Good to have you back.
Well, I'm glad to be back. It's only one game, but I'm not the focus, obviously. The team is, and, well, last night it didn't go the team's way. An 8-2 loss. records broken, shutout streaks ended, 9-game winning streak lost as well. What are some of the notes and things you went back and looked on to get ready for tonight?
Well, you know what? I mean, we were probably due for something like that to happen. We've been playing fairly well throughout all. Yeah, for whatever reason last night we didn't have any legs. We weren't moving our feet. We were standing still trying to make plays. And against this team here, you can't do that. So anyways, hit the reset button, and really we just got to come to play. And I thought we gave them, and whether it was because we didn't have our legs or whatever, but I think we just gave them a little bit too much respect.
When you look at it, obviously Columbus was riding all kinds of highs coming into the game, and yet, you said guys really didn't have legs. I think Carolina had motivation, whether it was the winning streak, the shutout streak, or just the rivalry that really just propelled them and just never could get back on that foot?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I think the first 10 minutes of the game was kind of everybody feeling each other out, and they got going, and we didn't, and we just we need to simplify, and that's been our whole problem when we weren't playing well. Trying to make plays that weren't there and execute. I love our creativity, but we don't have to be creative. We just got to play straight line hockey, and if somebody's open, make the easy 5-foot pass as opposed to looking for a stretch guy that isn't there. And if you do complete it, he's all by himself. So just simplify and use each other.
Despite the loss, Brendan Colgan has been phenomenal this season. Obviously, we just talked about the shutout streak and everything that he had going for him. Only got pulled last night. I mean, obviously, that's just one of those things. It's a little blip on the radar. And as a goalie, short memory, you got to go on to the next one, right?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, if you look at the 4 goals that he gave up, I mean, maybe one of those he'd like to have back. But really, everything else was, the first goal was kind of a lucky off Panicek's skate, whether he might have even kicked it in, I don't even know. You got that, you got one off the face-off, broken play, snuck through his arms, and then the fourth one, just kind of a lucky bounce. Guy comes in, misses the net, everybody over pursues, and I think it was Petito, I don't know, got the easiest goal he's ever scored in his life. So, it is what it is, and that's what's great about hockey. You play 54 or 56 games a year. You got to have a short memory, everybody, and just go out and execute how we can.
When you look at how this season has unfolded, obviously Columbus has done a ton of winning, and some opponents have definitely played up to your standard, and in the case of Carolina, gotten the win last night. And you looked at the score sheet, they had 8 different goal scorers. I mean, is that the kind of depth you expected from that Carolina team to come out and just punch across all 3 lines?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, you look at their lineup, they got Panicek, the Czech line, and then Butita, Rowe, and whoever. Actually, it's not that line, but anyways, they have 3 lines that all can put the puck in the net, and they all play hard. And really, I'll be honest with you, so do we. So we match up really well. Unfortunately, we're not short-staffed, but we are missing 3 pretty integral parts of our team with LaBelle, King, and Aldsworth out of the lineup. Costello got called up. So, but we've been plug and play all year long with guys in and out of the lineup, and everybody knows the system. Everybody knows how we're supposed to be playing, and it shouldn't matter who's in the lineup and who's not.
What's the key things to focus on tonight from your team in terms of executing and trying to reverse last night's scoreline to a win tonight?
Yeah, no, we just got to move our feet and move the puck. I mean, we didn't do much of that. We're so out of sync, and we just got to show up. I mean, and not that we didn't show up. You got an 8-hour bus ride or 7-hour bus ride before, came up the night before, left at midnight. There's a bunch of excuses, and really there is no excuse. For whatever reason, it just wasn't those nights. You're going to have that. It happens in the NHL. It happens in any league, and we haven't had that all year, and it was bound to happen.
All right. Well, thanks for your time, and good luck out there, Jerome.
You bet. Thanks, Zach.
Jerome Debeaussaert on the Air Force Heating and Air pregame show. Stick around when we come back. More of the pregame show after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
The Jersey Shop specializes in screen printing, embroidery, direct-to-garment printing, and vinyl heat-press lettering and numbering. We provide custom t-shirts for any occasion and have a graphic designer on staff to make the logos or graphics needed to make your shirts unique. We pride ourselves on being able to deliver orders of any size at low, competitive cost with no minimum quantity. That's why the River Dragons trust the Jersey Shop for all of their uniform needs. Call 706-565-4245. That's 565-4245.
For Beam, community isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. We believe that when we care together, work together, and even cheer for our favorite teams together, we are closer to what counts. Beam has been improving the way we connect since 1964, not just with technology, but with our communities and with each other. Because at Beam, community is not just a place, it's the way we do business. Beam, bringing East Alabama more. It's in our name.
Hello there. My name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is you're going to get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. This is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches.
Order the original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
So you've got projects to do around your home. You got Harvey Lumber for that. You've decided to finally get that large deck built in the back for family fun and entertaining like you've been dreaming about for so long. You got Harvey Lumber for that. From replacing a few boards to replacing all the windows to building from the ground up, you've got Harvey Lumber for that. It's kind of like that old saying, there's an app for that. Well, whatever you need in the way of building supplies, there's been a Harvey Lumber for that in the Chattahoochee Valley for over 150 years. Harvey Lumber Company, 815th Street, open Monday through Friday, 7 to 5.
It's time for River Dragons hockey. Tonight's game is brought to you by Sun South, Hydra Live, Mr. Sparky, Express Printing, BioLife Plasma, Pepsi, Vector Ply, Zelmo Zip-In, Houston Clinic, Columbus Diagnostic, Kinetic Credit Union, IGH Properties, Trivoli's, Shredaway, Nuke's Eatery, West Georgia Oral and Facial Surgery, Victoryland, Wade Cleaners, and B&B Broadcasting. Now let's start the game with the voice of River Dragons hockey, Tom Callahan.
And just in case you had missed some of the pregame show, Tom Callahan is off this weekend. It is, in fact, Zach Debeaussaert here with you on the River Dragons Broadcast Network tonight. That's right. Just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. But just for one game, Tom will be back next weekend after handling some personal affairs out back in Arizona, where he moved to Georgia to be the voice of the River Dragons right now. Fans, this is your last chance to pre-order your authentic Columbus River Dragons jersey to be delivered before the end of the regular season. Customize your jersey with any name and number and show everyone how much you love the River Dragons. Orders must be placed by February 5th, so you still got some time to think about your name and number, but that's to guarantee on-time delivery. Go to rdragonsmerch.com to place your order today. That's rdragonsmerch.com. Zamboni is speeding its way along the ice here in Winston-Salem. We are about 10 minutes or so away from puck drop here in the Annex, and we do have tonight's starting lineups for you here. For the Columbus River Dragons, we'll start on their side of things. Brendan Colgan will be in the net. He will be making his fifth straight start for the Dragons, a 12-1-1 record, 197 goals against average, 934 save percentage, and 5 shutouts. Of course, last night his shutout streak was ended, a grand total of 267 minutes and 47 seconds of perfect goaltending, if you will. 0 goals let up in that time. He is the leader in goals against, save percentage, and shutouts across the league. And of note in the Columbus-Carolina rivalry, it's tough to research this kind of statistic, especially because the official record book of the Fed is only so deep. But I can tell you from personal experience, back in the 2018-19 season when the Carolina Thunderbirds won their Commissioner's Cup, Christian Pavlos out of Slovakia. He was a phenomenal netminder for the Thunderbirds. He had a streak. It was about 3 games straight, so the number got close to 200 minutes. So the fact that Colgan got deep into the 200s, 267-47 the final tally, that record is most certainly his. Colgan gets the start, and the defense in front of him will be a little bit new look with Edgars Ozelinch suspended for 8 games after last night's debacle. Cody Rogers gets the start on the blue line, along with, we believe, Columbus's own Jake Cox. Jake Cox and Ryan Gill both inserted in the starting lineup, both have that two-way ability to play forward or defense. We're going to lean towards Cox. Of course, we'll see how they line up when they get to the opening faceoff. Your starting forward line, we already mentioned one of them. That's Ryan Gill, who's looking for his first goal of the season. But he's got a couple of good line mates if he were to find it today. The captain, Josh Petrantonio, in the middle, and Alexander Jamayev, Watertown Wolves Commissioner's Cup champion, now with the River Dragons, also has spent some time with Knoxville and Macon on loans so far this year with the Dragons. 11 games played, 8 goals, 5 assists, 13 points, and 3 of those 8 goals have gone down for game winners. Jamayev also had a hat trick back on New Year's Eve against the Mississippi Seawolves. Before we get you the Carolina Thunderbirds starting lineup, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
River Dragons hockey on WKC and HD2 Fort Benning South, Columbus, and W295AY Crystal Valley. 106.9 really rocks.
That's your starters for the Columbus River Dragons. Over on the other side of things for the Carolina Thunderbirds, they will end up putting in net number 35, Boris Babic. We had suspected maybe Mario Cavallari, but his run of 3 straight starts will end, and Boris Babic takes over the reins. A 7-3-0 record this year, 3.07 goals against, and an .896 save percentage. When you look at the two numbers, Babic and Cavallari together, they've really split the load in a way. Cavallari's probably been leaned on a little heavier, while Babic might have just a tiny bit better numbers, most notably his 3.07 goals against average compared to Cavallari's 3.30. As for the rest of the lineup, as we suspected, Garrett Rutledge not making any swaps in or out, but his starters do look a little something like this. On the back end, it's number 4, Joseph Kennedy, who has a 3-game point streak coming into today's game. And though he's not listed as a defenseman, we know he can play defense. Number 13, Victor Grebennikov. Also potentially could see on the back end Matthew Bazarin. He is the newly acquired man for the Thunderbirds after he was traded to Carolina from the Delaware Thunder in exchange for Cody Oakes. And the rest of the starters, you have Bazarin, we assume, up front, either he or Grebennikov taking that forward role, and then Lucas Rowe and Jacob Schnapp. Of course, Schnapp was at the heart of that third period brawl, as he got a little bit close to, at the time, Ty Hunter, who was in the net, and there was a whole brouhaha that had unfolded and ultimately resulted in 2 River Dragons being suspended, Ozelinch for 8 games and Kirk Underwood for 4. So that's your starting lineups across these two teams. It's Colgan versus Babic in the net. Colgan has Rogers and Cox in front of him, Gill, Jamayev, and Petrantonio the forwards. Carolina Thunderbirds, Babic with Kennedy and Grebennikov in front, and then Bazarin, Rowe, and Schnapp. They are your forwards for the Thunderbirds. Well, after this weekend is done, don't forget to tune in to the River Dragons Radio Coaches Show, presented by Mike Costello Law, every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. on 106.9 Really Rocks in Columbus and across the River Dragons Radio Network. It's Columbus's Real Rock station. Coach Bouchard is joined by a different River Dragons player every week. We hope to see you there, and if you don't hear us there, you can see us on the River Dragons TV Coaches Show, airing Thursday nights, 7 p.m. on CTN 16, replaying at 11 a.m. on Saturday mornings. Don't miss it. Well, they've dimmed half the lights here in the annex. The lights that are still illuminated are on the half where the Thunderbirds will make their entrance. And we've still got about 5 minutes or so until we get to puck drop here on the River Dragons Broadcast Network. Again, I'm Zach Debeaussaert. Happy to be along, just sort of a one-time thing as Tom Callahan had to deal with some personal matters. And, well, for those of you who might be curious, yes, I do, in fact, live here in North Carolina again. It's very nice to be back in a state that I did call home for a little bit. And now, actually, and many of you might have followed me on my way out from the River Dragons, working with the college sports multimedia giant that is Learfield, and specifically the Arkansas Razorbacks. So I know a lot of fans back at home, you're definitely celebrating Georgia's 15-0 run, back-to-back national championships. Or if you're an Auburn fan, you wish those words never came out of my mouth. But over on the very far west of the conference, there exist some other SEC teams, and that's where I find myself doing my work with Chuck Barrett, Quinn Grovey, Matt Zimmerman, and the whole cast and crew over there on the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield. Been a whole bunch of fun, and it's been a great first year. I don't know if anybody's followed some of the lower bowl games rather closely, but for all the blowouts you might have had during bowl season, Arkansas and Kansas in that Liberty Bowl was good enough to, really set some fans back in terms of their heart rate and their life expectancy. But triple overtime game, that one was certainly fun, and that kind of gives you a little insight as to where I've been so far. As last time I was on the air, Stephen, you were with me, and was it late July, early August, because it was a Hoots game. Yeah, it was the Chattahoots. They had just been knocked out by the Atlanta Crackers, and so it's been a little bit, but hey, after about 6 or so months, it's good to be back here with Ignite Sports and Entertainment and here on the airwaves. Why don't we take a look at a Southern hockey scoreboard? I'm going off script here. I don't know if Tom does these things or not, but I always found them fun since the FPHL very often will feed up into the SPHL. And you got a number of players that are considered FPHL loans up there in terms of their teams back here. So we'll take a look at that here in the 11-team SPHL. They will start in about a minute or so just over on the other side of the state. The Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs at the Fayetteville Marksmen. In terms of the Carolina Thunderbirds, Troy Murray is the player they acquired from the Elmira Mammoth, and he is a member of the Fayetteville Marksmen right now. And, of course, Roanoke, the history and coordination, if you will, between the Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs and Columbus River Dragons, it runs very deep. Many former River Dragons on that Rail Yard Dog squad. Then the rest of the games, they're in the Central Time Zone. 8 o'clock East, 7 o'clock Central. Evansville is at the Huntsville Havoc. The Evansville Thunderbolts have updated their logo. I know that's not a very astute observation midway through the season in January, but as somebody who is just kind of jumping back in, it's a different look for the Evansville Thunderbolts than I remember. You also got a battle in the Midwest at 8 o'clock. Quad City is at Vermilion County, the Bobcats. Birmingham Bulls at the Pensacola Ice Flyers. That one's in the Florida Panhandle at 8:05, and at 8:15, the Knoxville Ice Bears are at the Peoria Rivermen. That makes your 11th nugget. They're making mayhem today. And when you look at teams, on the River Dragons side, those loans, you heard Coach Jerome Bichard mention during the pregame interview, Chuck Costello, he got called up. He got called up to the Quad City Storm, and he'll be taking the ice in Danville, Illinois, taking on the Vermilion County Bobcats. We are awaiting our teams to get onto the ice. We see the Carolina Thunderbirds have lined up outside of their inflatable tunnel in the zone over to our far left. The River Dragons have, a few of them at least, have emerged past the curtained area that leads to their locker room. If you're looking at it from our broadcast vantage point from YouTube, in the bottom left corner of the arena, or the 7 or 8 o'clock corner, if you will. But we are waiting for those teams to come on out and get this game underway. River Dragons looking to split the weekend. Carolina, after breaking Columbus's 9-game winning streak, are very excited to try and sweep their southern rivals here in their first meeting in the Annex this season. When the River Dragons get back home next weekend, they'll be bringing the Thunderbirds with them, and you can bring your group out to the game. River Dragons hockey is more fun in a group. Come celebrate your birthday, anniversary, reunion, and more. Get 10 or more people together to enjoy best available seating, a special VIP entrance, group recognition at the game, a visit from Scorch or Torch, and more. Plus, you can add on options like Chuck-a-Pucks, souvenir hats and pucks, or even a team gear shopping spree. Groups of 30 or more get a post-game photo on the ice. Group perks are only available through the River Dragons office by calling 706-507-GOAL. That's 706-507-4625. River Dragons 23-3-1 this year, but on that one-game losing streak, that's their third regulation loss and fourth overall loss across the season. And this game, for the River Dragons at least, is game number 28. So this actually puts a cap on the first half of the season for Columbus. After this one, will go final. And when you look at their point total, regardless of if they win or not, if Columbus comes out of this game with 0 points, they are still projected for 136 points by the halfway mark, which would obviously break their record that they set during last season. And then if they win, well, the math adds up where it's 142 projected points. Meanwhile, the Carolina Thunderbirds, this is game number 26 out of 56 for them. So while the River Dragons finished their first half on the road, Carolina will finish their first half on the road as well. It just so happens to be in the Columbus Civic Center. Remember, those 2 games, Friday and Saturday. Tom Callahan will be back with you for the call on that one. The River Dragons are out onto the ice. Their starters are being announced to the crowd as we brought them to you here. Brendan Colgan gets the start in net, a 12-1-1 record. He was pulled about 5 minutes through game number 1 of this weekend in the second period last night as part of that 8-2 loss. And Colgan has these starting 5 in front of him: Cody Rogers, Jake Cox, Ryan Gill, Alexander Jemayev, and the captain, Josh Petrantonio. The Carolina Thunderbirds, when they come out, they will be, well, led out more than likely by the backup netminder Mario Cavallari, because Boris Babic gets the start tonight. 7-3-0 record, 3.07 goals against, and an .896 save percentage. The defense in front of him: Joseph Kennedy, Victor Grebennikov, and the rest of the starting 5: Matthew Bazarin, Lucas Rowe, and Jacob Schnapp. Interesting from the perspective of an insider who became an outsider, who is now back on the inside, that the Thunderbirds pregame show is half lit, half not. I'm assuming there must be a safety reason or a reason making sure lines don't cross in terms of players skating over one another, because, to be quite honest, the setup here in the Annex is one of the more unique ones. Teams actually exit off the same way and do have to technically intersect pass, because the River Dragons on the left side, we're just going to go YouTube broadcast vantage point for those of you on the radio playing along with us. The River Dragons bench on that left side of the benches side of the boards, and they got to go across to the bottom left corner, whereas the Thunderbirds will be on the right side, and they go up to the top left side. So there's usually not much intersection, but it's there, and it's probably resulted in some shifts and adjustments to the pregame show. You can hear the crowd getting up and getting loud as the Thunderbirds are just about ready to be announced. Our starters have been told to you. We can let you know our referees for today's game: Kenny Moniz and Ron Johnson are wearing the bands. Chris Kwong and Lucas Rieger are the linesmen. Let's take it down to ice level and hear the pregame festivities here in Carolina.
Back to the bench, your head coach, Garrett Woodland. He is assisted by assistant coach Vinny DeAndrea and your bench medics are Travis Franklin, Damian Poole, and Josh Limble. Equipment manager Mark Hunter, Rod Harris, and Mike Murphy. Starting Dollies is presented to you by Pine Hall Brick. Pine Hall Brick is a 4th-generation family-owned company providing you with all different types of brick that are durable, sustainable, and beautiful.
There's your starting lineups and your pregame show right now. We're going to send it right back to ice level, and we are going to have our ceremonial puck drop and national anthem in just a moment. Introducing the youth hockey players of the game here. You might have seen that on the YouTube stream after Boris Babic was announced. 2 different young skaters clad in Carolina red came on out with him. Of course, the Thunderbirds, I can speak from some experience being here myself for a year, very ingrained in their youth hockey community. And now it looks like we're going to take it back down to ice level. We are ready for tonight's national anthem.
Pierce Jefferson Funeral Services asks that you take a moment of silence to remember those in our military. Thank you. Pierce Jefferson Funeral and Cremation Services, your Triad's veteran specialist, thanks you and your family. Ladies and gentlemen, our special service guests standing next to our national anthem singer tonight, please welcome Kimberly Mozingo and David Carpenter. We recognize Sergeant Kimberly Mozingo, a.k.a. our season ticket holder, Feisty. Feisty, all right. She served 12 years active duty in the U.S. Air Force. She was a combat crew communication radio operator working under NATO Strategic Air Command, U.S. Air Force European Command Center during Desert Shield and Desert Storm. And USAF Special Operations Command. We recognize E4 David Carpenter, who was a medical... Yo, just make some noise right now. Let's get it out. David Carpenter was a medical laboratory technician for 4 years in the U.S. Air Force. He was stationed at Malcolm Groh Medical Center, Andrews Air Force Base, and then stationed at Wiesbaden Regional Medical Center in Wiesbaden, Germany. Some of the more seriously injured Marines from the bombing of the Marine barracks in Beirut were airlifted via helicopter to Wiesbaden Regional Medical Center in October of 1983. Please make some noise once again for Kimberly Mozingo and David Carpenter. American Elevator Company and your Carolina Thunderbirds would like to ask you to please remain standing and remove your caps for the national anthem being performed tonight by Anna Colvin.
Stripes and bright stars through the
And with that, we are just about ready to play some hockey here in Winston-Salem. The pregame's gone long. Hey, what else is new? It's just another day in the Fed, and we're ready for some very exciting hockey here in Winston-Salem. The Carolina Thunderbirds, they are clad in their home red jerseys. Big bird logo across the chest. White numbers with black trim, white nameplates as well. White and black belt across with black pants and red socks. Over to our right, it is Boris Babik. Babik this season, a 7-3-0 record, 3.07 goals against, and an .896 save percentage. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ice to our left, it's number 1, Brendan Colgan. Colgan, a 12-1-1 record, 1.97 goals against, .934 save percentage, and 5 shutouts. All of those categories, the last 3 at least, currently lead the league. He is clad in white, along with the rest of his River Dragons teammates. It's a white jersey, sash Columbus with black numbers and teal trim. There's black shoulder yokes and teal trim, same with the numbers, black pants, and white socks as they will go left to right. Kenny Monet is manning the red line in the center dot. He will drop this puck to get us ready as the teams have a little bit of a conversation between themselves. Looks like it'll be Jemayev to take it for the Dragons. He'll be going against Lucas Rowe. Puck is down. We are underway here in the Sun South first period. Happy to have you along here in Winston-Salem. Looks like Josh Petrantonio is actually going to be manning the defense as he ends up turning it over. Cody Rogers wasn't ready there on the cycle. Now he's got it on the near side circle and plays it up to Cox. Cox has got 3-on-2 if he wants it. Right wing circle. Pass over to the middle. Jemayev shot deflected and flutters wide over into the right wing corner. 25 seconds into the first period. River Dragons with the first good chance. Rogers takes this one, gets it up to Jemayev, smooth skating on the backhand. He will just dump it into the zone. River Dragons get the first change of the game. This one's found by Kennedy, rimmed around the boards to the far side. Schnapp moves this one up ahead, gets it to Bazarin. Bazarin being fended off there by Rogers. They weave in and out of each other. Bazarin takes a hit in the corner. Pass goes up to the point. Nobody there as the Thunderbirds were in the middle of the change. Now there's Peshtuka who will dump it in, and Carolina finishes the change behind it. Alex Storjahan will race out and beat icing and beat the offsides. The River Dragons are in the zone. Austin Doe with a chance. Loose in the crease. Goes to the side of the net. And now it's behind. Played out in front. And Peshtuka clears the danger. Gets it to the near boards. And Jan Salak will move it up ahead. It's an all-check line, it looks like, for Garrett Rutledge as Peter Panachik is out there with Jan Salak. Though Peshtuka is really manning more of the blue line. Now Peshtuka gets walked here by Kelly. Kelly moves in. Left circle shot and a shoulder save made right there by Babik. Another great chance for the River Dragons. In their opening minute and a half, they have started well. Salak took a big hit behind the plate. Crowd didn't like that. Now Greco ran over Panachik just after he left the puck. Plenty of arms go up in the annex. None of them have orange armbands on them. Greco will dump this one in right wing, and Firth will have it underneath the goal line. He'll leave it off for Salak. 18-16 left to go here in the Sun South first period. No score, River Dragons and Thunderbirds. Martin will give this back to Firth as Carolina looks to escape their own end, moving right to left across your radio dials. Frazier moves this one up for Krupp out of his reach as he had to stay on sides. No icing called as Carolina could have touched it. Ford trying to move this one out. It's held in there by Jelenskis. Jelenskis back into the lineup for the first time since December 2nd. He tries to leave a touch there for Krupp. Carolina will knock it back into the River Dragons' end. Frazier moves this one. Krupp, one touch. Finds Jelenskis trying to pass across. Couldn't connect with Wickline. It was just broken up by the Thunderbirds captain, John Butita. 17:35 left here in the first period. Skating ahead with some speed. It's Gus Ford. He's dangerous. Ford left circle. Penalty called as Frazier ended up hooking him, and he lost control of the puck into the corner. And we will head to a Carolina power play. As penalty kill, a first Franklin Financial penalty kill, personal loans at the speed of life. Paul Frazier contesting the call as he gets dinged for hooking. 17:27 left to go in the Sun South first period. So we see Carolina's third best power play unit in the league at 21% on the ice first. However, Columbus wins the opening draw. Petrantonio races up with it. He could go 3-on-2. Instead, holding back a little bit here is Jemayev. Petrantonio goes behind the net to eat up some time. Gets it back to Jemayev, left point. His shot easily gloved down there by Babik. And he'll send it over for Pashtuka, who looks to quarterback this power play. Pashtuka had a 3-point night last night, a goal and 2 assists. That's his first 3-point game since March 2022, when the Thunderbirds had a game against the Delaware Thunder. River Dragons dump this one down, kill off more time, 1:25 left to go in Fraziau's minor, the first Franklin Financial penalty kill. Another interception at the red line, this time from Jacob Kelly, the reigning Rookie of the Month for December for the River Dragons, out there on the PK right now. 1:10 left in this Carolina power play. They will skate it ahead. Here's Panachik with some speed, trying to get around Storjahan. Panachik, right wing circle with it, looking for a pass. Laid it off, found Salak on the cycle. Salak gets it back to the right point here for Rowe. Rowe, fake the D to D, back to Salak. Now back up to the right point for Rowe. Now he goes over for Kennedy in the left wing. Kennedy down into the corner. Schnapp there on it. Had to race to it. Schnapp pass inside to Panachik. He's looking for a cutter. Nothing there. And a good hit by Vanelli displaces him off the puck. Kennedy left point to Schnapp. Now bottom of the circle's left wing to Panachik. 35 seconds left in this Carolina power play. Cycling it beautifully, but no shots. Salak to Rowe. Now they move over to the right wing circle with it. In the corner, great play there by Greco to knock sticks, and it will leak back out into the neutral zone. Carolina has to regroup with 20 seconds left to go in their power play. Vanelli circle to circle in his own end. Greco will dump this one down. Babic ends up gloving it out of the air. It was a little too high to be considered a shot on goal. Goaltender getting involved here. 10 seconds left. Oh, Wickline was able to take it off of Rowe's stick, and now he knocks down a man on the forecheck, and this will kill off the remaining seconds. Paul Fraziau is out of the box. That's a successful penalty kill brought to you by Abercrombie Bonding. Now here's Rowe with it in the left wing corner. Backhand, it'll get sent around. Butita with it, moves it up to the right point. Kennedy finds it here. Back for Butita, turns, trying to go towards goal. Chance across the crease, and that one just couldn't be tapped home on the back door by Rowe. Great play by Bazarin, who's looking for his first Thunderbird point. Fraziau from behind his own net. Columbus back to 5-on-5 play. Here's Austin Doe with it right wing side. He's being watched there by Blake Peavy. Peavy ends up dumping Doe down, but he still has it between his skates, gets it to the top. Petrantonio winds, fires. Great shoulder save on the right side there by Babic. Jelensky's with it. Wickline taking some abuse there from Kennedy. Jelensky's works it back up to the left point for the captain. Petrantonio across to Rogers, shoots, a blocker save, and a penalty is going to come up here against Carolina as cross-checking is the call. And Rowe is pleading his case. A Georgia Power power play will start up after we take our first media timeout of the period. No score. River Dragons 1-for-1 on the penalty kill. And we're back after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Privileges and more. Call 706-507-GOAL. That's 4625 to score your Inside Edge membership today.
Welcome back into the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. River Dragons about to start their first Georgia Power power play of the night after Rowe was called 2 minutes for cross-checking. And it's a comfortable 72 degrees. Well, it's not here in the Annex. I'm going to be honest with you. It's always very cold in this rink. But if the temperature in your home isn't comfortable, call Air Force Heating and Air. And we also brought you our pregame show when we detailed in full the ramifications of this game. River Dragons win the draw. Fraziau, a shot deflection, and that one goes wide. Looks like it was Greco in front who got a stick to that. It'll go up into the mesh and go out of play. 14:27 left to go here in the Sun South John Deere first period. No score. Thunderbirds and Dragons, 1:54 left on the penalty to Lucas Rowe. Face off to the left of Babic. Storjahan will win it. Fraziau fake the one-timer. Back to Storjahan, right wing circle. Down underneath to Doe. Doe to the slot. Left circle shot from Kelly. And that one just missed the 4x6. Storjahan with it. His shot. Great butterfly save. Gloved out of the air. No hand passes. Kennedy will get to it as Greco tried to jump ball that one in the slot. Now here's Storjahan on the half wall. Right wing side. Storage will take it from the goal line. Now to Doe. Back up top to Fraziau. His shot. And seeing it at the last moment was Babic getting a stick on it. Panachik will race to that puck far side. Dump it down. And the crowd approves of the penalty killing. 1:15 left to go in Rowe's minor. And we got a whistle out of that. And I'm not sure, unless it hits somebody in between the benches. Well, we don't know what we got here on press row. And we're thinking must have hit someone on the bench, and they'll do this face-off to the right of Babick. For what it's worth, Carolina's not complaining about it, so very likely hit someone over on that far side, and just tough for us to see from our vantage point. 13:50 to go in the first. Crowd getting antsy for a puck drop. It finally does. Wickline wins it to the left point, Vanelli. Now back for Wickline. Down into the corner for Krupp on the cycle, being watched by Grebennikov. The former Thunderbird passes it to the circle, across here for Rogers. Rogers with it at the right point, no shooting lane available, gets it to Jemayev, right wing circle. Less than a minute to go here in the Georgia power play. Down to the goal line, back for Jemayev, give and go, great save, Babick, and he jumps on it. That was a great play between Jemayev and Wickline. Quick give and go along the goal line, and Jemayev was halfway free in front of Babick, who made a great reaction save on the blocker side, pounces on the rebound, and keeps this game scoreless. Shots on goal right now in favor of Columbus, 7-1. Obviously aided very much so by this power play they're currently on. Peavy will get thrown out of the circle. And now Schnapp comes into the draw against Wickline to the left of Babick. Wickline will win it. Rogers has it at the right point. Gets it over for Jemayev, right wing circle. Back now for Wickline to Rogers. He skates it, no space to shoot. Wickline top of the circle, shot blocked by Kennedy. Rebound was loose, found by Jemayev. He works it back top of the right wing circle. Down to the bottom. Wickline looking for space, closed down nicely by Kennedy. Gives him a couple of sticks for his effort. 30 seconds left in the power play. Rogers a shot, blocked by Schnapp, popped into the air, loose on the far circle. Jemayev will win a stick battle and get to it, and then he's run into there by Tucker Firth. Loose in front and just overskated by Wickline. Wickline dealing with Peavy on his back as he skates it over. Far side, now at the left point, it's Vanelli. Vanelli looks for a tip in front. It's loose there for Krupp, and it gets knocked away from him as Kennedy was in front battling. Jemayev had a pass go off his shin guards, and this one will go down the ice with 4 seconds left. Rose standing up in the box, ready to be a free man. Here's Wickline in over the line. Penalty is over. River Dragons 0 for 1 on the Georgia power play. Rogers' shot was fanned on, goes behind the net, and the Thunderbirds will pick it back up. Vanelli poked it away at the red line. Columbus still with it, offsides, as looks like that was Wickline who couldn't get his feet in the blue before he touched that puck. Offsides brought to you by Old School Barbershop. When your sides are off, go see Sherry, Old School Barbershop in downtown Columbus. I want to say hi to Sherry and her family, as obviously they were great partners with the River Dragons in my time there, but Sherry was also the one who cut my hair, so anytime you saw me on camera, I always looked good, thanks to Sherry. Shot coming in from Carolina. John Butita was denied by the blocker hand of Colgan. Grebennikov, he ramped one up off a stick, and he'll go behind the Columbus net. Justin Schmidt, odd quirk off the boards, but it falls for Kelly. Now Storjahan, back for Kelly with space shot, and shrugged off there by Babick. Butita moves this one ahead. Storjahan, great race to him, and they go side by side, and Storjahan gives him a rough ride at the end of it. Austin Doe, and a penalty is going to come up out of that Storjahan and Butita tussle, as I thought it might have been offsides when Doe had entered in, but instead Storjahan looks like he is heading off to the box, and they're going to call roughing. So not the immediate action that knocked Butita down that a lot of fans are upset with, but perhaps just a little bit extra after the fact. As Storjahan, the leading point getter on Columbus, will sit for 2. Thunderbirds captain draws that penalty, and it's a First Franklin Financial penalty kill once again. First Franklin Financial, personal loans at the speed of life. Petrantonio now moves up to center to take this draw here against Keplinger. Keplinger will win it, however, it's too strong for Kennedy. And back out of the neutral zone for Carolina. 11:40 left to go here in the Sun South John Deere first period. No score, Columbus and Carolina. Rowe with it behind the net. Up for Keplinger. Now moves it for Kennedy. Kennedy 2-on-3 as he hits the line. He's got Salak trailing towards the middle. Kennedy goes and gets his own dump in. Kennedy left wing corner, cycles this one for Salak, being watched by Rogers. Salak uses his big frame. Now Rogers gets a stick to an attempted pass for Panachik, loose along the wall, bouncing, and the River Dragons are able to force it out just to the red line, though. This will be picked up by Lucas Rowe. Now here's Salak with it, 4-on-3. Salak to Rowe, back for Salak, deflection off of his skates, and just missed wide of the far post. Panachik holds in, pass to Kennedy, open left point, walks it, shoots, and I think Rogers got in the way of that one just at the last moment. Here's Salak with it, left wing corner. 10:50 to go in the first, 1:05 remaining in this penalty kill. Salak trying to skate it down to Panachik. He'll leave it for him there in the corner. Check to check on that pass. Peter Panachik with it. Here is Schnapp with it now. Right circle shot off the shoulder of Colgan as he saw it in good positioning. Kennedy just holds it in along the blue as he moves left wing side. Takes it to the backhand as he goes underneath the net. Now brings it out in front, looking for a backhand effort, and Salak was tied up with Rogers. That one looked like it was blocked. Panachik to Salak, spin around pass, loose there for Keplinger, and he skied it. Petrantonio will slap this one the length of the ice. 28 seconds remaining. Keplinger had a tap in, but the puck flipped up on edge, and he sent it about 15 feet straight up. Tucker Firth now has this. He will pass it up ahead. Blake Peavy will chase it down. Butita, little give up to Ford. Ford leads the FPHL in all sorts of different offensive categories, but he lost the puck. And Carolina has to regroup back out at center. 3 seconds left. Into the zone they come. Out of the box comes Storjahan. 2 for 2 on the penalty kill. That's another penalty killed. Brought to you by Abercrombie Bonding. Columbus moves this one up ahead. Here's Storjahan, fresh out of the box. Left wing circle, staring down Firth. His shot misses well wide. Cox run into there, hard by Schnapp. And now to move up ahead for Carolina. Ford in over the line. 3-on-2 as the Thunderbirds get back. Firth a shot. Great save made by Brendan Colgan. Going right to left and squared up beautifully to make the easy butterfly save. 9:22 left to go here in the Sun South John Deere first period. Carolina's clawing back in shots, 9-5 in favor of the River Dragons. But we're still looking for our first goal here on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Georgia is considered by some as the hockey town of the South, boasting pro hockey since 1996. But 80 years before that first puck drop, another Chattahoochee Valley favorite got its start, Piggly Wiggly. Come on down to find a great selection of fresh meats and produce for your family's next meal or your next tailgate. We're proud to root for the hometown River Dragons because we've been the hometown team since forever. Piggly Wiggly, down home, down the street.
Face it, you've been borrowing your buddy's tractor long enough. It's time to get your own John Deere from SunSouth. And SunSouth makes owning a John Deere easy and affordable with financing as low as 0% interest. Right now, you can drive off in a 1-Series tractor with loader starting around $200 a month. But watch out, when you have a John Deere, your friends may start appearing out of nowhere. For quality John Deere equipment, visit SunSouth. Equipment for those that do.
Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Expires January 31, 2023.
River Dragons and Thunderbirds scoreless here in the first period of play. 9:22 to go. I'm Zach Debeaussaert. Happy to join you and filling in for Tom Callahan as he's out this weekend. River Dragons hockey brought to you by Country Inn and Suites, the official host hotel of the Columbus River Dragons. Face-off coming to the left of Brendan Colgan. We're back to 5-on-5 play after the Dragons were able to kill off that Alex Storjahan roughing minor. Dragons win this draw, slap it around, too hard off the boards for Krupp. It'll go down the ice, and Carolina wins the race uncontested. 9:13 left to go here in the first period. We're here in the Harvey Lumber press box to tell you about Columbus River Dragons Inside Edge season ticket memberships are still available for the 2022-23 season. The Inside Edge gives you exclusive access to team events with players, promotional giveaways, merchandise discounts, ticket priority for select Civic Center events, and River Dragons playoffs, plus ticket exchange privileges and more. Call 706-507-GOAL to score your Inside membership today. Krupp trying to get this one out. Great job holding the line there by Beaussaert, the newest Carolina Thunderbird. It eventually works out. Here's Jelensky's. He tries to make a pass in front as Vanelli's up on the play. Jelensky's shot is patted away by Babic. Krupp with it. Right wing circle. Cycled down. Here's Wickline. All over his back is Grebennikov. It'll leak to Babic, and he will just hold on to it for a whistle. 8:47 left to go here in the Sun South John Deere first period, and we remain scoreless between the Dragons and the Birds. Of course, last night, Carolina skated away to a big 8-2 victory. And Columbus, right now, you would say definitely starting better. The decided edge in shots. At one point, this 9-6 advantage was actually 8-1, aided by a power play. Now Carolina's starting to find their feet. Greco's shot. That one rolled all the way through to the crease and just missed the far post. That one somehow slithered through all the legs in front. Here's Panachik, evading one man. 3-on-2 as he hits the line through the middle. Panachik's shot blocked off a shin pad. Jelensky's couldn't handle it cleanly, but Krupp finds it. Gets it up to Wickline, taking on the Carolina defense by himself. Wickline tripped up there by Firth, and a penalty is coming up on this one as Firth attempted a poke check And the crowd has now realized the call from Kenny Monet behind the play. Firth claiming he got puck. He is adamant about it. And of course, I guess it depends what color jersey you're wearing. River Dragons faithful will tell you, yeah, you missed the puck, got the legs clean. And here comes another Georgia power play for the River Dragons. Their second of the day, 0 for 1 previous. Dragons are 16.7% on the man advantage this year. Georgia power play. And that's good for 7th in the FPHL. Meanwhile, Carolina, they're second best on the kill at 86%, only trailing the River Dragons at 86.1%. You can hear the crowd on our crowd mic. They are none too pleased with the call to Tucker Firth. 2 minutes for tripping, and the River Dragons win an offensive zone draw to start the Georgia power play. Storjahan in the corner for Austin Doe. Doe snuffed out there by Kennedy. Left circle with it. Kelly thought about a shot. Greco had to jump. He never pulled the trigger, though. Kelly in front. Greco a chance across the crease. Doe couldn't come back from behind the net in time. Doe and Kennedy tied up sticks. It's behind the net. All this over the left shoulder of Babick. Doe trying to work it out. Kennedy will find it. Now Doe gets it back. Right circle. Storjahan shot. Great glove save made there by Babick as he was trying to range and see around a screen in front. Storjahan thought about going short side, and Babick was with him all the way. 7:51 left to go in the Sun South John Deere first period. 90 seconds left in the Firth Minor, and we are still scoreless here in the Annex. Storjahan versus Panachik on this draw. They scrape at it. Panachik will eventually win it. Babick comes out of his net on the penalty kill to play it. Risky move, but Carolina will retain possession. Salak skates it ahead. A give right wing side to Panachik. Salak runs enough interference for Panachik to get a shot, but it's well wide. Salak at the red line. Spins it back. Dodges a hit from Fraziot. Panachik's going the wrong way. He wants to go towards goal, but being on the penalty kill, he'll just skate around, kill some time, and flip it into the Columbus end. Fraziot with it. Now he puts it up into the neutral zone. Doe, a pass to the left wing for Storjahan. Storjahan off the wall, rink wide to Doe. Pass back to Fraziot at the right point. D to D. Kelly, slap pass. Doe couldn't handle it. It'll fall to Daniel Martin, who will dump it down the ice. And Carolina will get some fresh penalty killers down. 7:05 left to go here in the first. 40 seconds remaining in this Georgia power play as River Dragons attempting to take their first lead of the weekend. Kelly for Wickline. He's around a man. Wickline. Oh, he faked the shot. And a great save by Babick. I don't think Wickline attempted the Kucherov no move on purpose, but it almost worked as he had the stick motions to pull across, but Babick was ready for it, put a pad down and covers it. 6:53 left to go in the first. Well, for those of you that might not know, Nikita Kucherov, Tampa Bay Lightning phenom, when he was in Russia, he sort of perfected the no-move deke when he comes in with speed, and the puck's just moving so fast as he's faking like he's handling. The puck just ends up sliding in either through the goalie's legs or maybe through the fake moves. He pulls the goalie away from it. And, well, that was almost happened right there, but I had to think Wickline didn't intend that. Either way, it came up unsuccessful. Jemayev has this at the left point. 22 seconds left to go here in the Georgia power play. Behind the net. Now back for Jemayev at the left wing circle. Jemayev a pass up to the blue line. Here's Vanelli. Vanelli over for Petrantonio. Petrantonio to Wickline, right circle. Now for Krupp along the goal line. Backhand, and Babick went a little too strong post to post as he took the net off its moorings, and Carolina will not be able to change with 7 seconds remaining in this man advantage for Columbus. Josh Keplinger is ready to hop the boards, whether that's for Firth coming out of the box, because Firth is traditionally a D-man. And you'd have to think Garrett Rutledge wouldn't want 3 D-men out there even if the puck's in his own end. Or maybe Keplinger was thinking he could come on during the change. We'll never know. Until about 7 seconds from now, of course. A face-off to the left of Babick. Shots on goal now 13-6 in favor of the Dragons. By my count, they've put up 3 in this man advantage. 7 seconds away from going 0 for 2, though. Wickline and Butita. Wickline jumps first, and he'll get tossed. Boy, the crowd gets antsy when the linesman doesn't drop a puck. It doesn't matter the River Dragon got thrown out. Carolina fans just want to see hockey drop the puck. Now the two captains square off at it. It's scrummed on, and Butita, with the help of Grebennikov, will dump it down the length of the ice. 2 seconds and 1. Firth is out of the box. 0 for 2 on the Georgia power play tonight of the Dragons. Columbus couldn't get it out of their own zone. Butita held in for a moment. Now there is Keplinger who comes in for Firth as we're back to 5-on-5. Petrantonio plays this one off. Krupp has it. Little give and go as Vanelli's the lone man in his own end. And he skates this one ahead. Gains the red line, dumps it in right wing. Babic tries to come out for it. Too hot to handle around the boards. Butita couldn't get it out. Yelensky's with it. Chip shot, pad save, rebound, Wickline. Oh, trying to go back across, and Yelensky's just wasn't there in time. Now Butita with it. Butita looked like he might have caught a stick up high as falling down in the moment was Gill. Undetected by the referees. We play on. Frazier dumps it in, delayed offsides. Grebennikov doesn't care as he moves it up. Here's Keplinger with it, left wing circle. Keplinger, a shot. No, we pass across. Now one went through the stick of Ford. Yelensky's moves this one up. Here's Jamaev with the puck. On his right wing, he's got Gill stood up at the blue line by Martin, and that'll stifle this rush. Grebennikov, big hit there by Yelensky's. Euro on Euro there as the Latvian hits the Russian. Keplinger with this 2-on-2 as he hits the line for Carolina right wing, trying to get around Schmidt. Keplinger on the backhand, knocked out there by Jamaev. Shot from the right circle by Ford, and a great blocker save by Colgan, who had to react fast. Ford's with it again at the left wing circle. Weaves through some sticks. He shoots, blocked by Frazier. Schmidt tries to get it out. The puck went up on Enonym. Martin holds in at the right point. Now here's Keplinger with it at the high slot, fighting through a hook, and he scores! Keplinger rings the back bar over the left shoulder of Colgan. 4:54 to go in the first, and the Thunderbirds draw first blood. Josh Keplinger will pick up his 16th goal of the season. Now up to 35 points for the Thunderbirds this year. He will also continue his point streak that has now gone up to 9 games with that goal. The former Danbury hat trick and SPHL player strikes first here on the annex, and it's 1-0. Carolina's got this one. Look out, turned over. Storjahan backhand, and that one shouldered away by Babic. Doe with it in the corner. Storjahan from behind the net, looking for some space. Passed out in front, deflected off Panachik. Now goes back to the far corner where it's picked up by Kelly. Jacob Kelly with his puck at the half wall. Cycles it down, just does get to Doe. Takes a little bit of abuse there from Kennedy. Doe to Storjahan. Pass across, blocked away there by Bazarin. Oh, now check that. That was Firth, and then Firth went through the numbers on Storjahan. He hit the boards at an awkward angle. Storjahan's back up, though. Rogers held in. Storjahan right circle. Pass was behind Petrantonio at the left point, and it will go down the length of the ice. In the neutral zone, Storjahan finds he's got Kelly on the left wing. Pass across. Great stick right there by Justin Bioni, as he was able to knock that one away, and Columbus will have it in their own end. Kelly for Yelensky's. Grebennikov stops him up, but the puck leaks into the zone. Now here's Rowe with it. Rowe trying to get around Rogers. Krupp fresh off the bench. Penalty coming up to him. Shot save on the glove hand by Colgan, and slashing will be the call against Jay Krupp. Fresh off to start a shift. Tried to chop at the stick. Got up too high. Might have gotten a little bit of the glove. And the River Dragons, they will head back to the First Franklin Financial penalty kill. Not before immediate timeout. We're back after this in the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Borrowing your buddy's tractor long enough. It's time to get your own John Deere from SunSouth. And SunSouth makes owning a John Deere easy and affordable with financing as low as 0% interest. Right now, you can drive off in a 1-Series tractor with loader starting around $200 a month. But watch out, when you have a John Deere, your friends may start appearing out of nowhere. For quality John Deere equipment, visit SunSouth. Equipment for those that do.
Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Expires January 31, 2023.
For Beam, community isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. We believe that when we care together, work together, and even cheer for our favorite teams together, we are closer to what counts. Beam has been improving the way we connect since 1964, not just with technology, but with our communities and with each other, because at Beam, community is not just a place, it's the way we do business. Beam, bringing East Alabama more. It's in our name.
Wade Cleaners is the official cleaner of Scorch and Torch and proud to present Columbus River Dragons hockey. 1-0 Thunderbirds are in front of Columbus as we are under 5 minutes to go here in the first period, and Jake Krupp has taken a 2-minute slashing minor. First Franklin Financial penalty kill. First Franklin Financial personal loans at the speed of life. Dragons 2 for 2 so far tonight on the kill, and they have the best penalty kill unit in the league at 86.1%. Coming into today's game. Keplinger and Wickline on the draw. Wickline won it. Vanelli ended up playing in front of his own net as he was pressured. Now Cox is dealing with Keplinger on his back. Panachik will work it out of that scrum. Wickline trying to tie him up. Here's Salak. He couldn't pull the trigger as it fell off the heel of his stick. Rowe with it at the right point. To Ford, back to Rowe at the top of the umbrella. Right circle, Panachik for Salak. Tied up, but able to feed the pass to Rowe. His shot inadvertently blocked by Keplinger. Loose in front, and Vanelli can't get the clear. Panachik works it back to the point. Rowe to Ford, walks it, left circle, shot just wide of that far post. That was a seeing eye puck that just missed the 4x6. Under 3 to go here in the first, 1:20 left in Krupp's penalty. Rowe with it at the left point. Cox, great interception, and the Columbus, Georgia native will send it down. He's in his second season. He debuted last year with the Delaware Thunder, actually played games against his hometown Columbus River Dragons, and now suiting up in the teal, white, and black. Here's Salak ahead over the line. Drop pass for Rowe. Back for Salak in front. Great backhand. Better save there by Colgan as Rowe was able to thread the needle. Salak was behind the defense, and for as big a body as he is, he found some space where he could pull a backhand deke on Colgan, but he had him shut down the whole way. Face-off will come in the Columbus end. 2:29 to go in the first. Colgan, the Wynnewood, Pennsylvania native, stands at 6'3", while Salak, I don't have a height sheet for Carolina in front of me, I just have the depth chart, but I will tell you, when Jan Salak was a player of mine, I believe we listed him as 6'6". That's two pretty big bodies in a tight space. Columbus wins the draw, still down a man for 50 more seconds. Frejot leaves it behind the net. It'll be dumped down the length of the ice by Jemayev. Babic will tee it up behind the net. Gill was going to come out and pressure, and then Babic made a pass over to the far side. Here's Kennedy skating ahead, dealing with Jemayev. Now Frejot tries to cut him off. Kennedy finds a loose puck in the corner. Drop back, Frejot, a poke around one man. Ford with it, loose in the slot, too many handles, but he picks it back up at the right wing circle. Kennedy back for Ford. Now to Kennedy. Center point with it. Fakes the shot. Now fires. Pad save. Rebound. Peavy couldn't pick up the rebound as he was dealing with Frejot. And now it'll be dumped down to the top of the circles in the Carolina end. A dozen seconds left in Krupp's minor as he gets ready to stand up in the box. Here's Ford skating it ahead. Nice deke around one. A blocker save. And then Greco absolutely dumps him after the move. Here's Snoppy scores. It was held in at the left point, and with 1 second left in Krupp's minor, a power play goal will double Carolina's lead 2-0. Jacob Schnapp, his 6th goal on the year. And we'll see who they credit assists to. You figure one's probably coming to Ford. The way he was moving and deking out some of the Columbus defense to set up that chance. They're back underway with 90 seconds left to go in the first. 2-0 Carolina. We'll get you the scoring summaries during the Chick-fil-A first intermission report. This one dumped in by Peshtuka. It's a delayed offsides. The crowd's so loud, though, that Bazarin couldn't hear it. And they're eventually going to blow a whistle. And it looks like they're just going to keep it in the neutral zone, which you figure after a situation like that, it'd be an intentional offsides, and that's what Petrantonio is arguing with a referee and a linesman in front of the Columbus bench. 1:16 to go in the first. Interestingly, Ford actually doesn't get an assist on that one. Kennedy held it in, and Butita was the one who had knocked it, and Schnapp was just sitting there, right place, right time, didn't even bother to settle the puck, just sort of slapped at it while it was spinning, and it found that inner part of the post and in. 2-0, Carolina leads. Now here's Peshtuka for Panachik's shot. That one patted away by Colgan on the left side. Here's Storjahan with some speed. 1 minute left to go in the Sun South John Deere first period. Peshtuka, nice between the legs pass. Finds Bazarin with it here. He's in over the line. His shot, long way away. Chested down by Colgan, and he'll stop it and cover it with 53.2 remaining here in the first. So that goal does go. Schnapp from Butita and Kennedy. And Kennedy now will continue a point streak for himself. He's now on a 4-game point streak. Face off to the right of Colgan. Carolina's really worked themselves back in this game. Shots just about even. 15-14 in favor of Columbus. Of course, 2-0 though in favor of Carolina. Rowe with it. Center point. His shot gloved down by Colgan, seeing it through the screen of Peavy and Schmidt, who were battling in front. Now 46.9 left to go here in the Sun South John Deere first period. The crowd has really filled in well here in Carolina. Of course, you can hear it. Carolina scored twice. Crowd's been loud. They are behind the Thunderbirds right now. It is a hostile atmosphere, and Columbus finding themselves down early again. In the neutral zone, and Jelensky's on a tip. Looks like that hit somebody on the far end of the bench, either Schnapp or Butita, the more likely of the two. They're sitting on that end near the turnbuckle. So we'll do a face-off at center ice now. 35.9 to go in period one. Wickline ordered to square up. Peavy will win it. Back for Biani at his own blue line. Gives to Kennedy, his D partner. Trying to move this one up. And now Frazier has it in the Columbus end after Carolina lost control. Jelensky's moving this one up the far wall. Biani has it. Being watched by Wickline. The backhand, Jelensky's able to hold it in. Kicks it there for Wickline, but it was too bouncy for him to handle. A dozen seconds left. Biani long pass, and Rowe couldn't get to it as he was in an offsides position. Now 6 seconds left. Let's see what Columbus tries on a home run the other way. Off the near side, Salak will intercept it. Peavy will lay it back to his defense. And that'll do it for the opening 20 minutes of play. Columbus started well, had a couple of power play opportunities. They came up empty, and Carolina, with an even strength goal and a power play goal with 1 second left on the clock, lead it 2-0 through the game's first period. Well, with that, teams will head off to their locker rooms, and we will go ahead and allow ourselves to take a little break. The Chick-fil-A first intermission report will come up after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
My name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is you know you're going to get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. This is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches.
Order the original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. We all count on our home's electrical outlets to provide us the power we need when we need it. But sometimes an overloaded circuit can lead to a blown outlet. So leave it to the pros at Mr. Sparky. We'll get it done right and get it done safely. Call now for $50 off electrical repairs.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8 Sparky.
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Oral and maxillofacial surgeons Mark Sawicki, Lee Allen practice a traditional scope of oral and maxillofacial surgery with over 60 years of combined expertise, ranging from oral pathology to wisdom tooth removal. They perform a full range of dental implant and bone grafting procedures, as well as non-invasive surgical facial cosmetic procedures. That level of expertise is why the River Dragons trust them. Call them in Columbus at 596-1757 or in LaGrange at 884-2655.
Columbus, Georgia is considered by some as the hockey town of the South, boasting pro hockey since 1996. But 80 years before that first puck drop, another Chattahoochee Valley favorite got its start, Piggly Wiggly. Come on down to find a great selection of fresh meats and produce for your family's next meal or your next tailgate. We're proud to root for the hometown River Dragons because we've been the hometown team since forever. Piggly Wiggly, down home, down the street.
River Dragons hockey is more fun in a group. Come celebrate your birthday, anniversary, reunion, and more. Get 10 or more people together to enjoy the best available seating, a special VIP entrance, group recognition at the game, a visit from Scorch or Torch, and more. Plus, you can add on options like Chuck-a-Pucks, souvenir hats or pucks, and even a team gear shopping spree. Groups of 30 or more get a post-game photo on the ice. Group perks are only available through the River Dragons office by calling 706-507-4625.
Hello, all you River Dragons fans. Storm Team 9 Chief Meteorologist Eric Kincaid here with a look at your forecast heading into the late night hours on this Saturday. It's going to be very cold. Look for temperatures to be dropping through the 30s with clear skies and still a light breeze into the nighttime hours. You'll want the bigger jackets if you have any plans to take you outdoors into the late night or early on Sunday. For your Sunday, we're going to wake up to temperatures in the 20s in most spots. A good hard freeze expected across the Chattahoochee Valley. The winds, however, won't be as strong. In fact, they should be rather calm as we start things off. Look for a mix of sun and clouds as we go through the day. Highs on the way back up to the upper 50s in many spots, and we expect to stay dry through the day. For the King holiday on Monday, highs near 60 after a morning low near the freezing mark, but clouds on the increase. Still no chance of rain for those using Monday as a day of service outdoors. Now, rain chances will increase beyond that into next week, so be sure to use that free WTVM weather app to keep track of any showers or storms, and we'll be right back here on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Welcome back into the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. 2-0 Carolina leads Columbus through 20 minutes of play. We are on the Chick-fil-A intermission report. And before we go any further on the Chick-fil-A intermission report, let's pause 10 seconds for our network stations to identify themselves. This is the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
On WKC and HD2, Fort Benning South, Columbus. And W295AY, Crystal Valley. 106.9 really rocks.
Shots ended up even in that period, 15 apiece, as we got some youth hockey or junior Thunderbirds out here. I guess you technically count junior because that is a level of hockey, but had a big collision at the red line here in our youth hockey game. Shots ended up even 15 apiece between the Dragons and the Thunderbirds, which doesn't really tell the story of that first period. The Dragons at one point had an 8-1 lead in shots, and if you were to look at it as a basketball game, well, that would mean the Thunderbirds are on a 14-7 run when it comes to shots, and their two goals came in the last 5 minutes of the first period. 15:06 mark, it was Josh Keplinger with a heck of a snipe, rang the back bar over the left shoulder, top right corner for Keplinger's perspective over Colgan. For Keplinger, it was his 16th of the year and gave him a 9-game point streak. Assists went to Daniel Martin and to Gus Ford. Gus Ford keeping up his lofty 2.4 points per game from last night and throughout the whole season, and he is the FPHL leader in goals, assists, and points. Then, about 3 minutes and 17 seconds later, as a power play was expiring, Jay Krupp for slashing. A puck just sort of bounced the right way for Jacob Schnapp. He took a swipe at it, and he ends up finding just the inside of the post and in. And for Schnapp, it's his 6th goal of the year. And I'm going to be honest with you, folks. When I was doing prep for this game, I remember Schnapp was a Dragons killer, and he was very, very offensively minded. So whether he's in a different role for Garrett Rutledge this season or maybe just having a bit of a slump, I remember Jacob Schnapp when he debuted for Carolina and had a 2-goal night inside the Civic Center. Regardless, though, the Florida native has a 6th goal of the year with assists going to Butita and Joseph Kennedy. Kennedy with a 4-game point streak there. River Dragons are 2 for 3 on the first Franklin Financial penalty kill. That Schnapp power play goal ended up breaking that schneid, and for Carolina, they are perfect on their penalty kill, which means Columbus is 0 for 2 on the Georgia power play. 2-0, Thunderbirds are in front. More of the Chick-fil-A first intermission report after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
In service located at 3109 Victory Drive in Columbus is the perfect place to take care of everything your vehicle needs. From preventive maintenance to alignments, brakes, oil changes, and more, your friends at Complete Tire and Service have you covered. Need tires? Buy 3, get 1 free for passenger vehicles. Call 706-321-8133 to set up your appointment. 321-8133. Complete Tire and Service on the web at ctstires.com.
HydroLife Therapy in Old Town is your one-stop recovery shop to get you back to 100%. With IV therapy treatments, cryotherapy, and compression therapy all under one roof. HydroLife treatments are packed with nutrients to increase energy and boost your immune system. Join the IV League today for the most affordable way to feel better, look better, and start accomplishing more. Online at hydrolifetherapy.com/Columbus. HydroLife Therapy. Start living your best life.
While the River Dragons handle pest fast on the ice, Orkin takes care of rodents and pests at your home or business. Locally owned and operated, Orkin creates a custom pest plan specifically for you. Orkin can help eliminate and control mice, bed bugs, ants, roaches, stinging insects, and cockroaches, just to name a few. Remember, they're not happy until you're happy, so visit Orkin.com for a free estimate and trust the only pest control service the dragons trust, Orkin. Now, if they could just control sea wolves and thunderbirds.
Heroes of Valhalla is your go-to place for all of your gunsmithing and firearms needs. They also specialize in Cerakote finishing as well as hydro dipping, which offers over 1,000 different pattern options. Check them out online at heroesofvalhalla.us or stop by the shop at 6320 Bradley Park Drive in Columbus. They're open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Online at heroesofvalhalla.us.
In 1999, Watley Convenience Stores opened its first Zelmo's Zip-In. Since then, the brand has grown to include 11 stores in the Chattahoochee Valley and Southwest Georgia. Zelmo's is an anchor in the communities it operates in. Our managers, employees, and vendors are all an integral part of the neighborhoods and communities we serve. We're proud to call these areas home and plan to continue growing with and serving the communities of West Georgia and East Alabama. Zelmo's, fueling life's passions.
Welcome back here to the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. We're on the Chick-fil-A first intermission report. 2-0 Thunderbirds lead it on goals from Keplinger and Schnapp, 3 minutes and 17 seconds apart. And they were in the later part of that first period, too. Unfortunate when you look at it from the River Dragons' perspective. They were really leading in shots, had some momentum on their favor with power plays, but ultimately come up with nothing. And 2 very well-placed shots right now are the difference in favor of the home team. Time to take a look on the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Zelmo's Zip-In. Zelmo's, fueling life's passions since 1999. In the Michigan battle, Motor City has a 1-0 lead on the road at McMorran Arena over the Port Huron Prowlers. Those 2 teams played yesterday in a home-and-home, the I-94 war, I believe they're calling it, between those 2 squads, and it looks like we're having some difficulties loading up our summary page to tell you who scored in that one. We can tell you they're early on into the second period. And it's Dante Suffredini, so a Detroit area native, doing his part in that Southeast Michigan rivalry. Scott Koch and former River Dragon Ian White picked up the assists on that goal. Then when it turns to 7 o'clock, actually it has turned 7 o'clock, so they're dropping puck moments from now in both Delaware and Binghamton. The Elmira Mammoth are in the Thunderdome taking on the Thunder, and the Watertown Wolves at the Binghamton Black Bears for another Empire State rivalry battle. And at 8:05 East, 7:05 Central, the Danbury Hat-Tricks have the long trip down south to the Bayou, taking on the Mississippi Sea Wolves in Biloxi. Quick peek on the Southern Hockey scoreboard as well. We take a look at the 11-team SPHL. There's only 1 game in progress, and it started alongside us at 6. I say 6 in jest. This game really started at 6:20, thanks to the long pregame show. So they are about midway through the second period in Fayetteville, and it is 1-1 between the Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs and the Fayetteville Marksmen. Taking a look at the scoring summaries, nobody we would recognize in terms of scoring, but penalties. CJ Stubbs has taken a couple of penalties, and Nick Mangone, one-time River Dragon, has taken a penalty for the Fayetteville Marksmen. The rest of the games in the SPHL look like this, all starting 8 o'clock and onwards. 8 o'clock East, 7 o'clock Central, Evansville Thunderbolts, Huntsville Havoc. 8 o'clock East, 7 o'clock Central, Quad City at Vermilion County. On the 05, it's Birmingham at Pensacola. And at the quarter hour, 8:15 East, 7:15 Central, the Knoxville Ice Bears take on the Peoria Rivermen. That's your look at the Southern Hockey scoreboard. Let's go ahead and take another break. When we come back, we get you all geared up and ready to go for the second period of play, brought to you by Kinetic Credit Union. 2-0 Carolina in front on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
My name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is you know you're going to get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. This is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches.
Order the original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Hey guys, this is Mike Costello of the Mike Costello Law Firm.
It's Rick Willis of the Mike Costello Law Firm.
Did you know that car accidents are the #1 case of injuries in the U.S.? So if you find yourself in a car wreck,
call or text me at 844-GET-MIKE or visit us at MikeCostelloLawFirm.com.
So do yourself a favor and I hope that you learn. Been in the wreck, call a Mike Costello Law Firm.
So if you've been injured, please give us a call.
Let's have a conversation.
Michael G. Costello, 1301 First Avenue, Suite 101, Columbus, 31901.
For Beam, community isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. We believe that when we care together, work together, and even cheer for our favorite teams together, we are closer to what counts. Beam has been improving the way we connect since 1964, not just with technology, but with our communities and with each other, because at Beam, community is not just a place, it's the way we do business. Beam, bringing East Alabama more. It's in our name.
Columbus Diagnostic Center, the area's clear choice for diagnostic imaging. CDC Northside features the area's first and only 3T MRI, the most powerful MRI available, and our new 64-slice CT scanner, cutting-edge imaging that's available at both locations. For over 30 years, patient comfort, lower costs, and uncompromising dedication remain our top priority. Clearer results for a more accurate diagnosis. Columbus Diagnostic Center and CDC Northside. Technology with a human touch.
An injury can be a game changer. That's why Houston Sports Medicine Team provides urgent ortho care, Saturday morning injury clinics during hockey season, and an emergency room at Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. An injury can be a game changer, and immediate evaluation and care can be a game changer too. For more information, go to Houston.com or call 706-324-6661.
Welcome back into the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. 2-0. Thunderbirds are in front of the River Dragons as the minutes are ticking off here on our intermission clock, and we await both teams to come out and start the second period. The official heating and air company of the Columbus River Dragons, well, that's Air Force Heating and Cooling, proud sponsors of Columbus River Dragons hockey and our Columbus River Dragons pregame show, heard 30 minutes before every broadcast. I'm Zach Debeaussaert, happy to be along for a game. I know a lot of you are excited to hear my voice again, but it's just a game, a design fill-in here for Tom Callahan as he handles some personal matters back in Arizona, where he had moved from to join us here at Ignite with the Columbus River Dragons and the Columbus Chattahoots. Second period, along with Air Force Heating and Air, they want to express their gratitude to our servicemen and women currently defending our freedom, and of course, our veterans. Thank you for your service from Air Force Heating and Air. I want to say hi to our radio flagship in Columbus, 106.9 Rocks, and the crew at PMB Broadcasting, Dave Arwood, Brian Thomas, Lori Lee, Thrift Behringer, DJ Jones, if he's listening, if he's done partying after what happened, 2 Mondays ago now? Maybe? No, last Monday. It feels like longer. I'm just letting you know. From an outsider's perspective, it feels like longer. Maybe that's because the Bulldogs went back-to-back. I don't know. But if DJ's listening, I'm sure he is very excited for his team and for his alma mater. Also want to shout out our affiliates down the line, Lineville, Alabama, LaGrange, Georgia, and WQEE 99.1, home of Southern Sports and Talk in Noonan. Well, River Dragons have some adjustments they very much like to make from that first period into the second period. Really, it just seems like clearing the slot. If you look at it, while Keplinger's goal was a shot that just beat Colgan, the second one was just a puck bouncing around, and Schnapp was left unattended to, and he ends up slapping it in. But ultimately, when you have a goaltender as good as Brendan Colgan, you know that you're going to have him stop that first shot 99 times out of 100. And if you can just clear that space in front of him, allow him to see the shot, and not allow rebounds to linger, that'll definitely put a tight lid on the Carolina offense. And really, for the River Dragons offensively, you've had your chances, but Boris Babic has just been great in this one. So far, pitching a perfect 15 out of 15, and ultimately Babick is just in the zone for a guy who has been sitting behind Mario Cavallari, and Cavallari has made the last 3 starts for the Thunderbirds. Babick really has not missed a beat and has been phenomenal through the game's opening 20 minutes. The teams are back out onto the ice, getting ready for the second period of play. They will, of course, switch ends, so Babick will be in the zone to our left, and the Thunderbirds clad in red with the Big Bird logo on the chest, white numerals, black trim, white nameplates, with a white and black belt on the jersey, black pants, and red socks, again going left to right across your radio dials here in the Kinetic Credit Union second period. And over to our right, Brendan Colgan, wearing his familiar number 1, white jerseys, sash Columbus across the chest with black letters and teal trim, black shoulder yokes, teal trim there as well, black pants and white socks for the River Dragons, who are moving right to left. Next time these two teams meet, Tom Callahan will be back with you because it's next weekend, and it's at the Civic Center. It's the 4th birthday bash for Scorch and Torch on Friday, January 20th. Come celebrate with our favorite Dragons and their mascot friends. Puck drop is at 7:30. Saturday, January 21st is Hometown Heroes Night, presented by Kinetic Credit Union. Join us in celebrating our local fire, EMS, police, city, and municipal workers. Hometown Heroes get a buy one, get one deal for upper-level tickets through the River Dragons office, and single-game seats are on sale now through the Civic Center box office or by calling 706-653-4460. You can also view them online on Ticketmaster, ticketmaster.com. River Dragons will start a unit of Jemayev, Cox, and Gill. Cox and Gill on the wings. The captain, Petrantonio, moved back to a defensive role today, which we've seen him do occasionally. And Edgar's Ozelin's suspension surely prompting that. He's alongside Cody Rogers. Meanwhile, Carolina's got Rowe, Schnapp, and Bazarin out with Grebenikoff and Kennedy on the back end. The puck is down. We are underway. Rowe perhaps wasn't ready for it to be down, but the Kinetic Credit Union second period starts with the Columbus face-off win. Kennedy has this one in the neutral zone. Cox will glove it down. Gill races to be back on sides as Cox shoots. Shouldered away by Babick, and that one goes high up onto the netting and out of play. 17 seconds gone here in this second period of play. 2-0. Thunderbirds lead it on goals from Keplinger and Schnapp. Rowe to take this draw against Jemayev. Jemayev wins it off the glass. Petrantonio finds it. His shot, a headhunter, well high over the bar. Rogers with it to the right wing corner for Cox. Now behind the net, a pass intended, looked like for Jemayev, goes errant, and now Grebenikoff with it, 2-on-2 with Schnapp. Grebenikoff fighting through some stick work of Rogers. He'll pick the puck back up behind the nets. Dodges a hit from Jemayev, down to a knee. His pass was weak, intercepted by Cox. Columbus, Georgia zone, passes it, rink wide, finds Gill, and he will backhand dump this one in. Around the net it goes, found here by Kennedy. Kennedy fakes out Doe, still in his own zone, dodging Kelly. Now he gives up the puck. This one will be dumped in off a body. Babick will slow it up side of the net. Storjahan was on his counterpart, number 4, Kennedy. Kelly's shot from the left circle. That one patted away from a tight angle by Babick. Now Vanelli fires. That one ended up being blocked in front as Doe was taken down by Grebenikoff. Potentially dangerous situation. Everyone skates away unharmed. Here's Salak, right wing to Pashtuka. Shot from the top of the circles, and Vanelli will block that one. He's double-teamed in the corner, so Storjahan will come in and help. Trying to vulture this one out. Salak uses his body to get it here. Storjahan ends up intercepting it as Salak misplayed it. Trying to go up the near wall. Doe boarded off there by Pashtuka. Pass will split the defense. Find Kelly. He's one-on-one here with Biani back. Kelly trying to get around Biani, and it ends up just leaking there to Babick. And now a penalty coming up behind the play as Biani ends up hauling Kelly down. Pashtuka upset that he heard the whistle while he was on a 3-on-3 rush. And behind the play, it looks like Carolina is going to end up being called for this one, as Justin Biani is skating to the sin bin with a holding call. So another power play opportunity for the River Dragons. Georgia Power play, third of the night for Columbus. They're 0 for 2 previous, as Biani will sit for holding. Faceoff will come to the left of Babick. Wickline to take it, centering a group with Krupp and Jemayev on the wings. Vanelli and Rogers on the back end. PV in to take this draw for Carolina. False start. And it is won by PV, but we hear some very light whistles, and I don't think everyone was set on the wings. And that's actually going to get PV thrown out. So for a Carolina crowd, we've already established doesn't like when linesmen don't drop the puck. Now, not only on top of that, they get their man thrown out. Now it's Schnapp to take it against Wickline. And now Wickline's going to get tossed for bouncing a stick. So if either Schnapp or Jemayev get tossed, it's a penalty. Jemayev will win it, and the Georgia power play will start up, but Schnapp is able to lift the stick and dump it down the ice. A good start for Carolina. Vanelli, bothered by Peavy behind the net. He will leave it there now for Cody Rogers. Up ahead here for Jemayev. Pass across, out of the reach of Wickline. He reaches for it. Firth able to cut him off, and he finds a loose puck. Checked by his counterpart, 22, and Krupp as it goes down the ice. Colgan for Vanelli. Far side circle in his own end. For Rogers, now moves it up to the neutral zone, and Jemayev. Now over the line, Wickline. Dumps it for Krupp. His shot wide of the blocker hand on Babic. Left wing corner, Wickline. Krupp tied up there by Firth. The puck hops over their sticks. Kennedy will have it behind the cage, and he sends it down 200 feet. 1:10 left to go in Beanie's minor for holding. Little Thunderbirds call and response here in the annex as the crowd appreciates the penalty killing. Now here's Doe with it, right circle. His shot along the ice and just outstretched. Babic couldn't get to it, but it missed the post. Krupp to the high slot. Backdoor play for Wickline. Great play by Martin as he most certainly took away a goal. Wickline up to the right point here for Rogers. Rogers center point, nothing to shoot at. Wickline give and go. Rogers shot blocked by the big body of Salak. Filtered through to Doe in the middle of too many Thunderbirds jerseys. Salak sends down a bouncer and has to be patted away by Colgan. 35 seconds remaining in the Georgia power play. River Dragons down by 2. Would like to cut the deficit in half here. Storjahan, a lot of speed on the rush. Left wing side, he's in over the line. Storjahan takes it into the corner. Now behind the net, he goes with it. Bottom of the circles, his shot goes across the crease. Nobody home on the back door. Frazier with it for Kelly, left wing circle. Back for Frazier at the top. His shot deflected. Goes to Storjahan, right wing circle. He'll lay it off on the wall. Left point here for Kelly. Under 10 to go in the Georgia power play. From behind the net, Kelly with it. The left-handed shot, has it on the forehand. Plays behind the net to Austin Doe. Doe, circle. Storjahan's shot took a deflection and went wide. Out of the box comes Biani, 0 for 3 on the Georgia power play. Dragons still threatening. Frazier shot, big rebound. That one gets away from Doe. Storjahan holds in at the top of the right wing circle. Grabenikov gets to it first. He'll chip it down. Frazier has it in his own blue line. Remember, this is the period of the long change, so Carolina has to be crafty about how they get off the ice in this awkward situation. Ford with it, in over the line, pass across, out of the reach of Keplinger. Getting it back for Ford, and he couldn't handle it on the backhand. 15:50 left to go here in the second. Dragons were able to put up one shot on that power play for our statisticians. Keplinger in the corner. Yelensky's cut him off. He has the puck and a stick to Kelly. A tip in front, and that one just goes wide of the blocker hand. Martin held up a little bit there by Kelly. Crowd wanted a call, none coming. Keplinger on the far side circle, moves it up to Ford. Ford trying to get around Petrantonio. 2-on-1 for the Thunderbirds. Ford across. Butita slaps at it. Great save made there by Colgan. Paul Frazier did just enough to interrupt the pass, and it didn't get there on time for Butita. And that allowed Colgan time to get across, get a pad to it, and cover it up. 15:23 left to go here in the Kinetic Credit Union second period. 2-0 Thunderbirds lead. And the Dragons are now 0 for 3 on the Georgia power play. And after that one goes to the wayside. Face off to the left of Colgan. Rowe will win this one. Kennedy's got it at the right point. Moves it around the boards. Mazarin racing after it. Rogers going shoulder to shoulder with him on the far side. Schnapp trying to pick it out of feet. Krupp has a stick lifted. Schnapp just holds it in. Petrantonio blocks a long shot. Moved up for Yelensky's. Yelensky's trying to get it to Wickline. Kennedy held his ground well and found the puck. Mazarin now for Rowe. 3-on-2 if the Thunderbirds want it. Rowe to Kennedy in the middle. He couldn't thread the defense and have the puck at the same time. Petrantonio, big hit lined up there by the new Thunderbird Mazarin. Gets it up for Wickline though. Yelensky's, he got tied up. He nearly took down Krupp. Krupp showed off the hops to dodge that. Now here's Rowe with it, left wing circle. Rowe, backhand across, blocked down by Rogers. Maybe Columbus trying to spring on the counter here. Here's Krupp with it, right wing. He fires from the blue line, blocked by Peshtuka. Puck lays there loose. Wickline trying to go to it. Yelensky's offers up a stick. Wickline able to hold it in along the blue. Down to the right wing corner. Krupp will give up the goat, and he will head off for a change. Columbus wholesale change, trying to hem Carolina in, but the Thunderbirds, they will be able to change behind it as it's held behind the net by Mazarin. Peshtuka across, deflected by Jemayev. No icing. Colgan has it, far side of his own net. Frazier up for Jemayev. He skates this one ahead. Fakes the shot from the red line. Now comes in with it. Deflected off the stanchion on the glass. Went towards Babic, who will glove it away for his teammates. Now here's Peshtuka. Carolina could have some speed ahead, but Jemayev, good back check, able to prevent an odd man rush. Here's Salak with it, right circle. Shoots! Save made there by Colgan. And the rebound spills out all the way to the near boards. Cox takes a hit there from Panachik as he skated it to the red line. And Panachik's able to take it away from him. 13:40 left to go here in the Kinetic Credit Union second period. Long spurt of play here. Panachik dealing with the stick work of Cox. Cox then runs into Biany. Great disruption there. Columbus could have it in the neutral zone, but a bounce doesn't go their way. Salak with it left wing circle. Fraziot tying him up. Salak down to a knee as Fraziot tries to pin him into the corner boards. Carolina captain Butita coming to help out. Puck goes Columbus's way. Here's Storjahan. 3-on-2 as Schmidt's going to jump into the play. Austin Doe left wing. Here's Schmidt. A shot. Storjahan attempted a tip, but it went through his stick. Now back the other way. Carolina could be 2-on-1. Schmidt's hustling on the back check. Ford just holds himself on side. Salak shot blocked by Vanelli. Salak tried a nifty between the legs pass. Nobody home in the slot for Carolina. 13 minutes left to go here in the second period. Thunderbirds continue to lead it by 2. I do have to breathe sometimes. River Dragons have this from their own blue line. Dumped in by Vanelli, and icing is waved off as they say Kennedy could have made a play on it. Kennedy's got it, skating across the red line, 4-on-4 as he hits the line. Kennedy trending to the right wing side, trying to spin around from Vanelli, goes off of Ford's skates on the pass, and at the right point, it's vacant, so Daniel Martin will have it once again in the neutral zone. Ford couldn't pull it back. Vanelli, good poke check. Butita into the zone, no offside play, but Kelly will find a loose puck. Greco with this one, trying to play it up ahead, deflects off of a stick, and now Butita has it into the zone for the Birds. Butita gets swiped by Vanelli. Keplinger has it at his own blue. Keplinger being watched by Kelly. Kelly will head him off deeper into the zone as Columbus tries to change up some forwards behind this. Greco chipping it. That one will lay loose, and here's Yelensky's. Yelensky's 1-on-2. He's all alone with some speed, but he couldn't get around Martin with the puck. Now Krupp runs into Keplinger. That puck rolling there. Rogers holds it in. Krupp finds a right wing circle. A pass across. Great stick by Martin as Cody Wickline was all alone on the left wing circle. Now here's Ford. He's checked there by Rogers. Crowd wants a call, but that was a great body check by Rogers. Displace him from the puck. Here comes Wickline ahead with it now. On the backhand, being headed off by Firth. He's taken into the half boards. Yelensky's a shot from an angle, and that one might have caught the pad of Babic. We get a whistle, and the player entrance door opened on one of the hits there in the corner. So we will get a last play whistle, 11:24 to go in the second period. Same score, still 2-0 Thunderbirds as we're approaching the midway part of the second period here on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Away at college, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
What's up, Columbus, Phoenix City, and all the bi-state area? This is Mike Costello of the Mike Costello Law Firm. Once we take on a car case, it's not just about law. It is our duty to provide and to give that client the best possible experience. If you think you need us, call or text us. We got you. Michael G. Costello, 1301 First Avenue, Suite 101, Columbus, 31901, 762-221-5616.
Time for your mind, so it locks and loads.
We are back. Usually a stop sign means wait, but okay. I'm just kidding. We're having fun here. Stephen Pierce, Brandon Schwoebel alongside here in the broadcast booth. Abby Schwoebel managing things from afar online. 2-0. The Thunderbirds lead the River Dragons. An offensive zone draw here for Columbus as we're back out of the media timeout. We're talking with our statistician. Shots on goal right now are 17-16 in favor of Carolina. And that's a 2-1 advantage. 8 minutes and 30-some-odd seconds into the second period. So it's been a lot more positioning and chess on ice as opposed to run up and down and shoot the puck. Uh-oh, look out. Rogers lost it along the boards. There was a chance there for Rowe, but nothing coming out of it. Now in the far corner with it. Rowe checked by Rogers. He'll kick the puck. And it's moved to Peavy. Peavy to Firth, left point. Shot, sliding man on the play. Krupp was able to block it and deflect it high. Rowe from behind the Columbus net, being watched by Wickline. Spins away from him. He's now on the backhand with it. Bazarin with it. Up to the right point. Here's Bryce French. First time we've called his name today. And his bullet of a shot hits right onto the chest of Colgan. And he'll cover that one up. 10:47 left to go here in the Kinetic Credit Union second period. 2-0 Thunderbirds lead it. Bryce French, the Alaska native and alternate captain for the Carolina Thunderbirds. Well, we don't really have the insider report too much, but did not really see him at all in that first period of play. He's back out there right now in a deep pairing with Firth. Firth has it at the right point, checked by Cox. Now Jemayeff works this one ahead to Gill. Gill trying to get around French, right wing corner with it. French puts a check into him as they stall out along the end boards. Rowe will kick this one from his own blue line. He was still in an icing position, and that one will have the legs to go the length. So Columbus now has an offensive zone draw, and the Thunderbirds not able to change with 10:28 left to go here in the second period. Well, we're about to hit the halfway point in this game, but you know you're going to have to take these sorts of situations very seriously, as you're already down 2 if you're Columbus. And if goals are going to be at a premium, these are your opportunities perhaps with a tired Carolina group out there. Jemayeff and Gill not on the same page. Cox holds it up in the high slot, then he trips up French, and a penalty coming up here against the Dragons. Bazarin trying to come into the zone, and it's knocked away by Frazier, and the penalty will be called. A tripping minor with 10:11 left to go in the second on Jake Cox. So the Columbus, Georgia product will sit down, much to the delight of the Thunderbirds fans behind the box. And we will head off to another First Franklin Financial penalty kill. First Franklin Financial, personal loans at the speed of life. River Dragons are 2 for 3 on the penalty kill. Carolina's 1 goal came with a second left in the Krupp minor. At the 18:23 mark of the first, that was Jacob Schnapp's tally. So if you look at it, with this being penalty minutes 7 and 8, River Dragons have essentially killed 5 minutes and 59 seconds, and they hope to add another 2 minutes onto that tally. Long scrum in the right wing corner. Carolina ends up working it out. Rowe with it at the right wing circle to Salak, now behind the net to Keplinger. Keplinger being watched by Greco, goes up off a stick. Panachik gloves it down, checked there by Storjahan. Keplinger to the top for Kennedy, faked the pass, knocked out Kelly there, and out of the left wing circle it's Panachik. Keplinger from behind the net, back up to the right wing circle for Rowe. He's at the top of it, retreating back towards the blue. Right circle, Keplinger with it, pass to Rowe, goes through his stick. Storjahan, he was tied up. Keplinger holds it in. Bottom of the circles now for Rowe. Rowe on the backhand. Kelly, good check onto him. This could spring numbers. 3-on-1 if the Dragons want it. Kelly's got Storjahan on the right with Kennedy back. Kelly shoots. Great glove save made by Babick. Vanelli was the third man on that play, and you know he's an offensive defenseman, but realizing the team was on the penalty kill, didn't want to overcommit and potentially make an odd man rush the other way. We head to another media timeout. Still 1:01 left to go in this penalty kill. 2-0 Thunderbirds on the Columbus River Dragons broadcast network.
Inside Edge season ticket memberships are now available for the 22-23 season. The Inside Edge gives you exclusive access to team events with players, promotional giveaways, merchandise discounts, ticket priority for select Civic Center events, and of course River Dragons playoffs, plus ticket exchange privileges and more. Call 706-507-GOAL, that's 4625, to score your Inside Edge membership today.
Even though I'm away at college, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
We are back here at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. 1 minute and 1 second left to go in Jake Cox's tripping minor. Fourth Carolina Thunderbirds power play of the day. 1 for 3 on it so far are the Birds. However, Columbus has an offensive zone draw down a man. Carolina will win it, and we're back underway. 9:05 left to go here in the Kinetic Credit Union second period. Peavy with it. Right wing circle. He had his flow disrupted. Couldn't come in as teammates were ahead of him. Now Ford's shot right onto the chest of Colgan. And he will make the easy save. That ends up being the 19th shot on goal for Carolina. And again, the total at the end of the first period was 15-15. So right now, shots on goal, a little more than 11 minutes into the period, are 4-1 in favor of Carolina. The offense has stopped flowing for both teams. And really, the defense and positioning has been the name of the game. Ford with it, right wing circle, pass to the high slot. Wickline got a stick in the way. Butita with it at the half wall. Now gets it down to Peavy, left wing corner. Peavy up the wall to Firth. Back for Peavy. He kicked it to Butita at the side of the net, being chased by Petrantonio. Captain on that exchange. Here's Ford, right point. Shot. Schnapp set the screen. Great stick save. Firth fires. He whiffed on it there. Petrantonio pulls it out of the scrum. Trying to go in transition, but nothing doing there. He'll just go off of Doe with it. It'll lay in the neutral zone. Here comes Carolina the other way. Schnapp for Peavy. Holds it up at the left point, trying to set something up. Wickline nearly turned him over. Butita plays it to an open right wing. Firth for Petrantonio. That's the wrong team for Carolina, that is. But Petrantonio's clearance goes off a weird stanchion, and it's held in by Butita. Butita will rim this one around the boards. It takes a more traditional path this time, and Rogers has it far side. Pass off the wall. Geometry a little bit off for Wickline, who had to look for it behind him. Petrantonio at his own blue. Blue line to blue line pass. Up for Gill. Cox out of the box. Shot for Gill. And that one just wide of the blocker hand. Wickline a shot. And that one inadvertently blocked in front by Gill. Here's Butita 2-on-2 with Pashtuka on his left wing. Rogers back looking after him. That one ends up in the feet of Rogers on an errant pass. 3 for 4 on the First Franklin Financial penalty kill, and it's another successful penalty kill brought to you by Abercrombie Bonding. Pashtuka to Peavy, left wing circle. Knocks back. Pashtuka has it in his belly, puts it onto his stick. Pashtuka fires a shot. He scores! An absolute dart by Yuri Pashtuka off the far post and in, and the Thunderbirds lead it 3-0. Well, from a statistical standpoint, you might be happy to know it was not a power play goal as Jake Cox had gotten out of the penalty box. But from the part that matters, Columbus is now down 3 as Yuri Pashtuka does a little half lap near the penalty boxes to fire up the crowd right below us. 7:20 to go in the second period, and Yuri Pashtuka picks up his 9th goal of the season. A Prostiyov, Czech Republic native. I guess we should say Czechia native. Anybody who was watching the World Junior Tournament knows that the Czech Republic really officially now going by Czechia in all their international competitions. But either way, he scores, and he makes it 3-0 for Carolina. Here's another Czech player, Panachik. One more Czech on the roster, Jan Salak. Back for Panachik at the right wing circle. Tries to lay it back. He's checked there by Austin Doe, and the puck falls free for Columbus. Kelly works it to Doe, just out of the reach of Storjahan. Puck goes free. Panachik with Salak. He's trying to hold himself on sides. Butita kicks it on a trailer. Butita with it at the half wall. Over to the right wing circle. Martin fires. Glove save. Babic falls out, though, and Salak, trying to get around Vanelli, ends up having that one be played into the near corner. 6:25 to go here in the second period. Pashtuka's goal, his 9th of the season. Give assists to Blake Peavy and to Daniel Martin. Martin, 2 assists on the night. Coming into today's game, only had 12 points for Carolina this year, so really racking up the apples. Columbus looking to edge out of their own zone. Here's Jacob Kelly with some speed ahead. Columbus trying to change behind this. Storjahan with it at the high slot. Held up there by Butita. Storjahan spins around, tries it again. Fancy move to the right wing circle. On the backhand, pass across. That one patted away by Babic. Left wing, here's Greco with it. Goes all the way around the boards. Martin gives chase, but Petrantonio comes up from the point to fire a shot and goes off the base of the net and ramps up out of play. And we'll have a whistle and an offensive zone draw for the Dragons. 5:45 left to go here in period 2. River Dragons hockey is more fun in a group. Come celebrate your birthday, anniversary, reunion, and more. Get 10 or more people together to enjoy best available seating, a special VIP entrance, group recognition at the game, a visit from Scorch or Torch, and more. Plus, you can add on options like Chuck-a-Pucks, souvenir hats and pucks, or even a team gear shopping spree. Groups of 30 or more get a post-game photo on the ice. Group perks are only available by calling the River Dragons office, 706-507-GOAL. River Dragons with it in the offensive zone here. Wickline taking some abuse from B&E. Petrantonio's shot. Save made. Rebound loose left circle. Krupp couldn't get to it. He was tied up by a couple of Thunderbirds. Petrantonio at the half wall, intercepted by Schnapp. He has the speed and he has the space to skate. He'll do it. Jumps around Petrantonio. Jelensky's helping out in cover, and he'll take him into the end wall. Now Petrantonio's going to show off the speed. 3-on-2 if the Dragons want it. Petrantonio, right wing, dodges a check there from Firth. Underneath the goal line, coming out with it. Wraparound, not available as Babick swung his stick to the near side. Firth with it on the backhand. Pass was behind Schnapp. He'll be able to settle it, and he's being chased after there by Gill. Gill's pass knocked away by Cox. Cox got it. Got it to Gill. Around a man. Shot just wide of the blocker hand. Grebennikov turned over by Gill. Loose in front, and it goes wide of the blocker hand looking near post. Petrantonio behind the net here for Cox. First real good chance of the second period here for the Dragons. Rogers a shot. Deflect. Loose in the crease. Gill there. Cox scores! Jacob Cox, Columbus, Georgia's own, gets the Dragons on the board. 3-1, 4:37 to go in the second. And some of the sunshine and rainbows here in the Carolina crowd have started to leave as Boo Birds rain down. Jake Cox, his 4th goal on the season. Nice little scrum in front. Columbus set up some good pressure, forced a couple of turnovers, and now we've got a 2-goal game. Face off back at center ice. Butita back into the right wing corner in the Columbus end. Butita stapled into the boards. Kennedy, a pass to Ford. He whiffed on the shot in the high slot. Frazier was being pressured by Kelly as his momentum took him into it. 4:18 left to go here in the second period. Ford whiffs on another one in the high slot. Got to check his stick for some holes in it right now. Butita with it in the far corner. This one rims around. Here's Keplinger on the near side boards. Keplinger knocked down by Schmidt. Great check right there. And it will go out into the neutral zone. Kennedy with it, lays it off for his captain, Butita. Keplinger will try again, picking himself off the ice. Schmidt sees his stride, wants to go at him again, but he'll spin back. Nobody there on the right point for Carolina, and will go back into their own end. Martin takes a hit there from Kelly. Ford just able to get to that puck in front of Storjahan. Ford with it, a very tight 3-on-2 as he comes in. Drops for Keplinger's shot. Now one shouldered away by Colgan. Doe trying to feed this one to the far wing. Kelly letting this one come to him. Carolina was able to get back to him first. Frazier with it at the far circle. 3-1, Thunderbirds in front, but the River Dragons get their first goal. It's the last one in this game from Jake Cox. Still working on the assist. We'll get you the scoring summary in a moment. Here's Ford up ahead for Keplinger. Right point. Keplinger, the pass deflected. Butita somehow ended up with that one all alone in the left wing circle, and his shot whistled wide. Schmidt will take it behind his own net. One of the 2 Ice Wars champions playing here in the FPHL. Danbury's Daniel Amesbury the other. Of course, we've already had some River Dragons hat-tricks matchups. See those 2 together. Now Frazier will have it, trying to direct traffic. He'll lay it off for Schmidt. Now back for Frazier. Carolina's very tough on the forecheck right now, trying to run a 2-1-2 trap. It'll work as Kennedy turns him over on the near side board. Schmidt is out of gas as Kennedy tries to walk him. Kennedy instead is forced back as Schmidt did just enough. Frazier checks into Kennedy there. Behind him, Salak will now work it. And now Jelensky's works it back out to center. 2:25 left to go here in the second period. Salak turns back into his own end for a moment. Now here's Firth up ahead into the zone. Shot, save made Colgan, and he'll hold on to that one before it gets to the ice. That one might have stung him up high near the collarbone, but he'll hold on for a whistle, and that means we'll get our final media time out of the second period. 2:13 left to go here in the second. Thunderbirds in front 3-1 on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
College, Kinetic Credit Union is still the best way for me to stay connected here and at home. With the Kinetic mobile app, I have control of my accounts wherever I go. I can easily transfer money between internal and external accounts, get money faster by setting up recurring transfers, and I can find the nearest ATM or branch right from my phone. Plus, I can add my Kinetic cards to my phone's digital wallet and enjoy quick, secure, contactless payments. By the way, Mom, I need some more money.
Kinetic Credit Union, the energy for your dreams.
So you've got projects to do around your home. You got Harvey Lumber for that. You've decided to finally get that large deck built in the back for family fun and entertaining like you've been dreaming about for so long. You got Harvey Lumber for that. From replacing a few boards to replacing all the windows to building from the ground up, you've got Harvey Lumber for that. It's kind of like that old saying, there's an app for that. Well, whatever you need in the way of building supplies, there's been a Harvey Lumber for that in the Chattahoochee Valley for over 150 years. Harvey Lumber Company, 815th Street, open Monday through Friday, 7 to 5.
River Dragons Hockey brought to you by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Columbus River Dragons. We are here in the Kinetic Credit Union second period. River Dragons get their goal at the 15:24 mark from Jake Cox. Fourth goal of the year. Ryan Gill picks up the lone assist on it. It's his seventh helper. Gill's still looking for his first goal as a Columbus River Dragon this season, but obviously he will enjoy factoring into that one and trying to give Columbus some life, and they're down 3-1. Chance in front for Carolina, and Pashtuka was blocked by his counterpart 24 in Greco. Salak with it, behind the net. Here's Panachik, right wing circle, trying to go back for Salak. Good check there by Gill. Pashtuka shoots and scores. Yuri Pashtuka's hot as they come right now in this second period. He rings the back bar. 1:57 to go in the second. It's 4-1. Well, that is just a kick to the gut. If you're a River Dragons fan, because you figure you would have the momentum, scoring in the last 5 minutes of the period, maybe trying to add one, and instead Yuri Pashtuka gets his second goal of the period. And he's now got 5 points this weekend as he makes it 4-1 Carolina. Now Biani moves this one up. Salak had it go off of Greco and almost fall for him heading towards net. Puck is still bouncing. It'll be kicked by Vanelli into the neutral zone. Salak turns, pass behind Panachik, but he's able to get it. Back for Salak, left wing circle. Vanelli heading him off. Salak spins back to the forehand. Doe left alone in the slot. Panachik there. Backhand for Pashtuka, that close to a hat trick, but Colgan shuts him down. Kelly for Storjahan. Storjahan being bothered by Firth. That one will go into the zone. Babic sticks it away. It was loose there. Storjahan gets it to him, and Pashtuka just slams Storjahan down in the slot. Penalty coming up. Now here's a chance. Storjahan ends up on top of Pashtuka, and I fear he might have just evened it back up. Now, to Storjahan's credit, perhaps the back official picked up the penalty. And if Storjahan was looking at the official in the zone and didn't see his arm up after he was body slammed on a scoring opportunity, yeah, he might have been a little upset and went after Pashtuka. Either way, Pashtuka and Storjahan are both going to sit in the box. 69 seconds remaining here in the second period. Nice. So we get a holding signal, and then did we get a roughing signal as well? I think we did. And it was a very quick conversation for Petrantonio and Butita with the officials, if there even was one. And they still might give Columbus a power play out of this. And working on the board right now. Carolina's only put 4 out, so it looks like Pashtuka will get an extra 2 out of that with Storjahan. So 2 minutes for holding on Pashtuka, and then 2 minutes roughing each on Storjahan and Pashtuka. That will mean it's another Georgia power play here for Columbus. And this clock is not set up right. Nobody's realized it. Doesn't matter. Wickline wins the draw. Kelly shot, and that one goes wide. Well, we are 4-on-4. My mistake. Couldn't count the white jerseys out there. So we are 4-on-4. Here's Petrantonio with speed. He's got Wickline on the left wing side. Pass across, and that one's behind Wickline. Kelly with it at the left wing circle. Dodges a man in the corner. That's Gus Forward. Kelly still with it. Spins away. Just stick handling in a phone booth, but can't go anywhere. Ford's basically playing him in a zone. Now here's Kennedy. He will chip this one in. So it is 2 minutes for holding and just 2 minutes for roughing for Storjahan. Pashtuka did not pick up an extra 2, and that's why we sit 4-on-4. Pass intercepted at the blue line, but Rowe's momentum took him out of the zone. Now he's back in on sides. Rowe, backhand there. Save made Colgan. Penalty is coming up here on Columbus, and Colgan will touch the puck to get the whistle with 18.4 left to go in the second. And Cody Rogers is going to go for hooking after Rowe was able to get around him. So now we're starting to get into some of the more advanced courses of penalty math. It'll be 4-on-3, a power play for the Thunderbirds. That'll mean another First Franklin Financial penalty kill, personal loans at the speed of life. River Dragons are 3 for 4 so far today on it. One power play goal came all the way back in the first, Jacob Schnapp. And currently, that goes as the game's deciding goal. Though we do have 20 minutes and 18.4 seconds of hockey still to play as we're late here in the second. 4-1, Thunderbirds in front. They have the 4-on-3 advantage. Storjahan and Peshtuka have 1:10 left on their matching minors. And Cody Rogers just went in, 2 minutes for hooking. Keplinger and Greco, they're going at each other as Keplinger tried to win the draw and Greco just bodied him up. Doe works it back there for Frazier. He'll dump it down. Ford intercepts at his own blue line. Keplinger hustles back in on sides, but a good poke check by Frazier, and that stifled the momentum. Keplinger just sort of gave it up there for Doe, and that's because we're out of time. The horn sounds. 51 seconds are left in the matching minors. That'll be 4-on-3. And then there'll be about 49 seconds of 5-on-4 power play time for the Thunderbirds when we come back to get ready for the third period. Peshtuka with a couple of goals. Jake Cox gets the River Dragons on the board first. And now it's time for the second intermission report, brought to you by Shredaway, and it comes up after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Maybe even a quesadilla? Head to Barbaritos. Their menu includes only the freshest ingredients, and your order is custom made how you want it on the spot. Barbaritos is founded on freshness, and everything from our handmade guacamole to our marinades are made right in-house. And don't forget, you can order online at barbaritos.com or through our handy mobile app. Barbaritos. Food, community, people.
Blue Frog Plumbing and Drain is your trusted plumber in Columbus and beyond. We go the extra mile to show up on time, diagnose your situation quickly, and get to the root of the problem. Blue Frog is here to deliver the right solution the first time, and we're available 24/7 because plumbing emergencies don't keep office hours. Blue Frog Plumbing and Drain. Less mess, less stress. On the web at bluefrogplumbing.com or call 706-887-6433.
Oral and maxillofacial surgeons Mark Sawicki, Lee Allen practice a traditional scope of oral and maxillofacial surgery with over 60 years of combined expertise, ranging from oral pathology to wisdom tooth removal. They perform a full range of dental implant and bone grafting procedures, as well as non-invasive surgical facial cosmetic procedures. That level of expertise is why the River Dragons trust them. Call them in Columbus at 596-1757 or in LaGrange at 884-2655.
Can you feel your heart beating right out of your chest?
Welcome back into the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. Thunderbirds lead it 4-1 through 40 minutes of play as Chuck-a-Puck begins here in the building, and we're on the second intermission report brought to you by Shredaway. And also want to let you know, fans, this is your last chance to pre-order your authentic 2022-23 Columbus River Dragons jerseys to be delivered before the end of the regular season. Customize your jersey with any name and number and show everyone how much you love the River Dragons. Orders must be placed by February 5th. That's about 3 weeks from now. Orders must be placed by February 5th to guarantee on-time delivery. Go to rdragonsmerch.com to place your order today. That's the letter R, dragonsmerch.com. Well, as we take a look at that second period of play, it was much more defensively aligned, I guess is the best way to describe it, as we had 30 total shots in the first period, and this one we only had 16. 9 shots for the Birds, 7 for the Dragons, resulting in a second period running total of 24-22 in favor of the home team, Carolina. However, we had one more goal. The Thunderbirds get on the board first, the 11:40 mark, with Yuri Peshtuka picking up his 9th goal of the season. Assists going to Peavy and Martin, and Daniel Martin has a multi-point game on that note. Then, just under 5 minutes to go in the period, River Dragons were poised, making good plays in the offensive zone, turning Carolina over, and the sustained pressure eventually resulted in a goal after a Ryan Gill shot. Jake Cox was able to bury the rebound past an outstretched Boris Babic, and that right now is the lone blemish on Babic's record. 3-1 at that time. And while Columbus was feeling themselves with the momentum, there goes that man Yuri Peshtuka again. He just absolutely sniped the inner part of the near post and in past Colgan. And when you look back at some of these goals on film review for Colgan, I mean, these, at least two of them, are just perfect shots that will beat any netminder on planet Earth, it seems like. Peshtuka, his second goal of the game, now into double digits with his 10th of the year. And it was an all-check goal as Jan Salak and Peter Panachik all picked up assists. Now, it's funny, a previous Thunderbirds broadcaster by the name of Drew Blevins a couple of seasons ago, and if Drew is somehow listening to this on the backside, because we know he's with the Fayetteville Marksmen right now in a game, but Drew would coin the Panachik and Jan Salak thing as the Panjan or the Jan Pan. Well, I don't know what happens when you get Yuri Peshtuka involved, and thankfully it's not my job to think of anything, but I just thought that was a little funny and clever nomenclature on that part. All the Czechs got together for Carolina to get that last goal, and they lead it 4-1. Shots on goal, again, 24-22 in favor of Carolina. River Dragons 0 for 3 on the Georgia power play, 3 for 4 on the First Franklin Financial penalty kill. We're going to take a break. You're going to see the Saves of the Week promotion on YouTube, and you'll hear about them as well. Hear from the voice of Tom Callahan from that last weekend of play for the Dragons. And when we come back, we'll take a look around the rest of the league, brought to you by Zelmo Zippin. It all comes up after this. Second intermission report brought to you by Shredaway on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
In Suites by Radisson, you'll enjoy comfortable accommodations close to Columbus State University, Fort Benning, and of course, the River Dragons games. Conveniently located at 1720 Fountain Court in Columbus, you'll be minutes away from all your favorite Columbus destinations. Free high-speed Wi-Fi and hot breakfast always available too. So whether you're staying for business or for pleasure, make your next stay in Columbus a comfortable one at the official hotel partner of the River Dragons, Country Inn and Suites by Radisson.
Here's a shot in on goal. Colgan over to his left to make a big save right there. Now here's Conway in behind the D. Shot on goal. Conway disrupted just enough. Play now break. Moving it ahead. In is Conway. Conway by himself. A shot. Colgan the save. And now a chance for Motor City in the back door. Here's a shot in on goal. Colgan over to his left to make a big save right there. Now here's Conway in behind the D. Shot on goal. Conway disrupted just enough. Play now break. Moving it ahead. In is Conway. Conway by himself. A shot. Colgan the save. And now a chance for Motor City in the back door off a skate. Shot Conway. It's stopped. Rebound in front. King diving. Can't clear. There's a chance that goes to the glass. That up in the left-hand corner by Schmidt. Puck in the slot. A shot. What a glove save by Colgan. Point blank. He robs Coash. 706-565-4245. That's 565-4245.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. We all count on our home's electrical outlets to provide us the power we need when we need it. But sometimes an overloaded circuit can lead to a blown outlet. So leave it to the pros at Mr. Sparky. We'll get it done right and get it done safely. Call now for $50 off electrical repairs.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888.
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Blue Frog Plumbing and Drain is your trusted plumber in Columbus and beyond. We go the extra mile to show up on time, diagnose your situation quickly, and get to the root of the problem. Blue Frog is here to deliver the right solution the first time, and we're available 24/7 because plumbing emergencies don't keep office hours. Blue Frog Plumbing and Drain. Less mess, less stress. On the web at bluefrogplumbing.com or call 706-887-6433.
In 1999, Watley Convenience Stores opened its first Zelmo's Zip-In. Since then, the brand has grown to include 11 stores in the Chattahoochee Valley and southwest Georgia. Zelmo's is an anchor in the communities it operates in. Our managers, employees, and vendors are all an integral part of the neighborhoods and communities we serve. We are proud to call these areas home and plan to continue growing with and serving the communities of West Georgia and East Alabama. Zelmo's, fueling life's passions.
Hello, all you River Dragons fans. Storm Team 9 Chief Meteorologist Eric Kincaid here with a look at your forecast heading into the late night hours on this Saturday. It's going to be very cold. Look for temperatures to be dropping through the 30s with clear skies and still a light breeze into the nighttime hours. You'll want the bigger jackets if you have any plans to take you outdoors into the late night or early on Sunday. For your Sunday, we're going to wake up to temperatures in the 20s in most spots. A good hard freeze expected across the Chattahoochee Valley. The winds, however, won't be as strong. In fact, they should be rather calm as we start things off. Look for a mix of sun and clouds as we go through the day. Highs on the way back up to the upper 50s in many spots, and we expect to stay dry through the day. For the King holiday on Monday, highs near 60 after a morning low near the freezing mark, but clouds on the increase. Still no chance of rain for those using Monday as a day of service outdoors. Now, rain chances will increase beyond that into next week, so be sure to use that free WTV and weather app to keep track of any showers or storms, and we'll be right back here on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Welcome back into the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. 4-1. Thunderbirds are in front of the River Dragons through 40 minutes of play. And while we have some time, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Dragons hockey on WKC at HD2 for Bidding South, Columbus, and W295AY Crystal Valley. 106.9 really rocks.
4-1, Thunderbirds are in front as we take a look around the rest of the FPHL on our out-of-town scoreboard. Brought to you by Zelmo's Zip-In. Zelmo's fueling life's passion since 1999. Zelmo's also the official fuel provider of the Columbus River Dragons. We had one game start alongside us, though they are already early on into the third period, so we had a lengthy and extended pregame show here in Winston-Salem. Motor City and Port Huron, 1 minute into the third period of play. Port Huron has a 4-3 lead. Port Huron had 4 unanswered goals until a Scott Koch power play tally with about 1:47 left in the second period. Ian White and Dante Suffredini, those three combined on the first goal of the game. And in fact, it was Scott Koch's second as Declan Conway and Ryan Rotundi helped him out at the 3:38 mark of the period. That 4-goal spurt for Port Huron came over a span of 11 minutes and 5 seconds. 2 from Evan Foley, 1 from Sam Merritt, and another from the Finnish flash, Lari Vartiainen. Though you probably can't call him that. That was just the quickest, onomatopoeia or analogous name you could come up to with it. Larry Vartiainen's Finnish. He's not Timo Solani. I apologize to Timo Solani. We take a look at the rest of the games going on. 2 games dropped puck at 7 o'clock, so they are deep into actually done with the first period in Delaware. And it is 1-0 Elmira through 20 minutes of play. And you're just checking our live sheet. We're going to go back and check this. Looks like we had a couple of 10-minute misconducts in there, so perhaps some rough stuff happening from the Empire Division rivals. Former River Dragon Dalton Anderson with a shorthanded goal. 5 minutes left to go in that first period. That was Dalton Anderson's specialty. He was here in Columbus. Tyler Pekarski and Kyle Stevens picked up the assists on that. And there was a fight between Rasmus Asp and Mo Levesque. And then Justin Movalle picked up an abuse of officials, just a 10-minute misconduct. That was all at the end of the first period. So some fireworks happening there in the Thunderdome late in the opening 20. And over at Visions Veterans Memorial Arena, Binghamton has a 1-0 lead over the Watertown Wolves. 4 minutes into that second period, the goal scored by Chad Lopez from Kyle Powell, 2:17 into the first. Riley McVeigh and Greg Hussey are your goaltenders in that one. And coming up in, about 5 minutes or so time from now, the Danbury Hat-Tricks and the Mississippi Sea Wolves down there in Biloxi finishing up a weekend. Quick peek at the Southern Hockey scoreboard as Roanoke and Fayetteville are still tied. It is 2-2 over there at the Crown Coliseum. We're here in North Carolina with our broadcast, so just down east over in Fayetteville. 12 minutes left to go in the third period. C.J. Stubbs, we talked about he picked up a couple of penalties to get on the score sheet. Well, he did score a goal. In fact, he has the tying goal with 7 seconds left in the second period. And Matty O'Day, another former River Dragon, picked up the assist along with Josh Nenadel. The rest of the games, they start up as we crossed over into 8 o'clock very soon. In fact, Quad City and Vermilion County have already started. 17 minutes to go in the first. Evansville and Huntsville moments away from dropping puck. Same two for Birmingham at Pensacola. And in about 10 minutes' time, it'll be Knoxville and Peoria, with the Macon Mayhem being that 11th team out. Let's take another break. When we come back, we will get you all geared up and ready to go for the third period of play, brought to you by IGH Properties. After this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
A division of the Overby Company, take care of all your document shredding needs. We can design a custom shredding program for your business today. No need to purchase equipment, no maintenance expenses, no need to prepare records for destruction, increase employee productivity, increase security, no worry. Was it really destroyed? Right now, all new customers can receive 10% off. Shredaway, a division of the Overby Company, locally owned and operated in downtown Columbus. That's Shredaway, 706-577-9668.
River Dragons hockey is more fun in a group. Come celebrate your birthday, anniversary, reunion, and more. Get 10 or more people together to enjoy the best available seating, a special VIP entrance, group recognition at the game, a visit from Scorch or Torch, and more. Plus, you can add on options like Chuck-a-Pucks, souvenir hats or pucks, and even a team gear shopping spree. Groups of 30 or more get a post-game photo on the ice. Group perks are only available through the River Dragons office by calling 706-507-4625.
Vector Ply Corporation is a world-leading manufacturer of carbon, fiberglass, and Kevlar composite fabrics located in Phoenix City, Alabama. Our customers depend on us to produce iconic brands such as Malibu and Nautique Boat and the historic C8 mid-engine Corvette. Even the light poles surrounding the Columbus Civic Center were produced by a Vector Ply customer using Vector Ply fabrics. If you're looking for an exciting career with a growing manufacturer located right here in the Chattahoochee Valley, visit our website, vectorply.com.
Columbus, Georgia is considered by some as the hockey town of the South, boasting pro hockey since 1996. But 80 years before that first puck drop, another Chattahoochee Valley favorite got its start, Piggly Wiggly. Come on down to find a great selection of fresh meats and produce for your family's next meal or your next tailgate. We're proud to root for the hometown River Dragons because we've been the hometown team since forever. Piggly Wiggly, down home, down the street.
Columbus Diagnostic Center, the area's clear choice for diagnostic imaging. CDC Northside features the area's first and only 3T MRI, the most powerful MRI available, and our new 64-slice CT scanner, cutting-edge imaging that's available at both locations. For over 30 years, patient comfort, lower costs, and uncompromising dedication remain our top priority. Clearer results for a more accurate diagnosis. Columbus Diagnostic Center and CDC Northside, technology with a human touch.
We'll be screaming out, we can be heroes everywhere we go. We can have all that we ever.
Back here at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex, I'm Zach Debeaussaert filling in for Tom Callahan tonight. Tom will be back on the air with you next weekend as he tends to some personal matters back in Arizona, where he moved from to become a, well, I guess honorary Chattahoochee Valleyan with the Columbus River Dragons and here at Ignite Sports and Entertainment. It's been a delight to be on the air with you here, and we still got one more period of play, brought to you by IGH Properties. 20 minutes up on the board, Columbus down 4-1. River Dragons clad in white with the Sash Columbus on the chest, black letters, teal trim, black shoulder yokes with teal trim as well, black pants and helmets and white socks. They go left to right. Brandon Colgan, tough night for him at the office, 20 saves on 24 shots thus far. Meanwhile, the Carolina Thunderbirds, they have Boris Babick. He has been backstopping a gem so far for them. Babick, 21 saves on 22 River Dragons shots. And the Thunderbirds dressed in red, Big Bird logo on the chest, white numerals with black trim, white name bars, black helmets, black pants, and red socks. They'll be going right to left. So this third period will start 4-on-3. Yuri Peshduka and Alex Storjahan have matching minors with 51 seconds left on them. And then Cody Rogers has 1:42 remaining in his minor penalty picked up near the end of the period. And it does make this another First Franklin Financial penalty kill. First Franklin Financial personal loans at the speed of life. Wickline and Rowe in on this draw. And the referee will check the goal judges. Check the scorer's table, and we are underway here on the IGH Properties third period. Strap in, everybody. Columbus down by 3 and down a man for the next minute and 35. Gus Ford skates this one in. 3-on-3 as he hits the line, left wing circle. Now back up to the left point for Keplinger. Greco finished his check after that pass. Keplinger will drop it there for Ford. Now he trades points with Kennedy. Back to Rowe, right circle. Kennedy with it left point. Now for Ford, right wing circle. Kennedy, high slot. Puck bounced on him there. He couldn't settle it, and Greco got in front to block the eventual shots. Back to the right point for Ford. Ford gets this one here for Rowe. Back for Ford at the center point. Now for Kennedy. He lays it off. D to D. Here's Ford. Bottom of the left wing circle. Rowe. Pass across. Frazier blocked it right back to Rowe. And his second shot was saved by Colgan, who eventually got back to that near post. 2 seconds and 1. Out of the box for Storjahan and Pestuka. This is still a power play for the Birds. It's just 5-on-4 now. Storjahan trying to lift the stick of Kennedy. He gets it out into the neutral zone. And now Storjahan will kill some time retreating back. 37 seconds left to go here in this first Franklin Financial penalty kill, and Frazier slaps it down 200 feet. Babic tried to slow it up. It went through his stick, and now Firth wasn't hustling to it, and Storjahan gets back to it in the neutral zone. This puck has done a full lap around the rink, all under River Dragons' control. Now Petrantonio for Storjahan shoots. Pow! A pad save made in the rebound. Could not go. Storjahan from a tight angle. Save made by Babic. Wow, the Thunderbirds almost got caught being lazy on their own power play as that puck did a full-on lap around the rink. And Petrantonio, great cross-ice feed to Storjahan in against Babic. Initial stop made on the left pad, and then a backhand effort just could not be lifted by Storjahan into somewhat of an open net. 13 seconds left to go in the Rogers Minor. 4-1. Thunderbirds lead it. 18:30 to go here in the game. False start, but neither center guilty enough to be tossed. And now the Thunderbirds will win this draw. One more rush while they have the man advantage. Panachik for Grebennikov on a drop. Grebennikov had his stick clash. Now Vanelli from the red line dumps this one in as Rogers is out of the box. 4 for 5 on the first Franklin Financial penalty kill, and a successful penalty kill brought to you by Abercrombie Bonding. And just as we say that, now it looks like the River Dragons are going to be heading to the Georgia Power play. As referee has his arms up, this is Kenny Monet calling Carolina's Daniel Martin, it looks like, who is looking around a little bit confused, and a high sticking signal has been given. So Martin sits for 2. It's the 4th Georgia Power play of the night for Columbus. They're 0 for on the weekend. 0 for 7 in last night's game, 0 for 3 so far tonight. This would be a great time to break this current skid down 3 early on in the third period. Storjahan and Panachik on this draw, and Storjahan's going to get waived. And Doe and Greco, neither really more of a natural centerman than the other. Greco will be the one to come in to take it. He's the net front presence here on this power play. He does end up winning it to Frazier, and now Doe has it right wing. Back to Frazier at the right point. D to D now over for Kelly. Left circle. Fake the shot. Now turns and fires. That one missed wide on the far post. Storjahan for Frazier. Back for Kelly. It's in his skates, but he kicks it to his stick. Frazier has it. Right point. Moving it down to the circle. Storjahan. Back up for Frazier. Turns, looks, fires. Doe a tip. Great save. Looks it back for Storjahan. He scores! Storjahan gets that one to go. It took a tip in front. Might have gone off of Firth. If it's not him, Greco was there on the back door, but Storjahan's going to lead him down the line. A power play goal for Columbus. It's 4-2. That's taking advantage of those opportunities we talked about in the third period. Columbus, if goals are going to be at a premium, need to work themselves back into this game sooner rather than later. And they've brought it back within 2 with a Georgia power play goal. Their first one of the weekend, 1 for 4 today, 1 for 11 across the 2 games combined. 2:18 mark. We'll get you the goals. Get you the goal summary in just a second. Meanwhile, here's Yelensky's. He's got Krupp on his right wing. Yelensky's nifty move around 1, but Grebennikov covered for his D partner. Now this one gets over to Bazarin. He will dump that one in. Colgan slows it up, and behind the net it's for Petrantonio. Petrantonio off the glass. This one will spin and go to Grebennikov at his own red line. Grebennikov for Bazarin. He will eventually hold that one at knee height. This one slapped there by Biany, and it is icing as the race to the hash marks was about a draw, but it was favoring Columbus's side. And now the River Dragons will have an offensive zone draw and a somewhat tired group out there for Carolina. 17:07 to go in the third. We didn't realize that Jacob Schnapp had been in the locker room. I don't think he was out from the start of this third period, but he has emerged from the dressing room and is back on the bench with the rest of his Carolina teammates. Good to see whatever is ailing him. He's shaken off. Rogers a shot. That one blocked by Peavy. Now Petrantonio left circle. He fires. That one wide, and Babic saw it late. Rogers now fires one from the right point. Grebennikov gloves it down. Krupp able to pick up the loose puck. Rogers gets this one behind the net for Wickline. Wickline trying to put that one in front. Bazarin read it the whole way. Intercepts in the slot. And here's Rowe out of danger through the neutral zone. Rowe's got Bieni on his right. Now he trades places with him. Passes behind him. Krupp couldn't handle it. He wasn't really ready for it. Krupp and Bieni cancel out in the corner. Here's Rogers. He will dump this down the near side, and Daniel Martin will have it in his own end. 16.5 left to go here in the third. Columbus trailing 4-2. Martin a shot. Save made by Colgan. He swallows that one up easily atop his goal crease. And we get a whistle now, 16:25 to go in regulation. Don't forget to tune into the River Dragons Radio Coaches Show, presented by Mike Costello Law every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. on 106.9 Really Rocks, Columbus's real rock station, and across the River Dragons radio network. Coach Bouchard is joined by a different River Dragons player every week, and the Columbus River Dragons TV Coaches Show airs every Thursday night, 7 p.m. on CTN 16, replaying Saturday mornings at 11. Don't miss it. Recapping all that was with the River Dragons weekend. Here's Jemayev. He brings this one over the line on sides, trying to get it to Gill. Jemayev upends a man there. That's Keplinger. No call coming. The puck leaks out to the neutral zone, and here's Greco. Greco, his pass, knocked down by Ford. It pinballs around some legs, and then now Columbus will eventually settle it. Jemayev tripped up by the pass, but from his belly gets a pass over to Cox, gets it to Gill, drives the net. Gill, oh, a great pad save by Babic, loose along the crease, and somehow it ends up under the Carolina netminder. Oh, Ryan Gill still looking for that first Columbus goal, and he came oh so close right there. Great power move and cut across the face of goal, but the long, lanky legs of Boris Babic keep this game where it's at 4-2. The faceoff will come to the right of the Carolina netminder. Storjahan, he will take the draw. He picked up that goal, his 19th of the season. He fires one. That one patted away by Babic. And behind the net it will go. Here's Salak, near side. Now gets this one over to Peshtuka. He's on hat-trick watch. Peshtuka into the middle for Panachik. He gets hauled down. Penalty coming up. Panachik's deflection attempt went wide. Schmidt trying to say he lifted the stick, but Panachik takes an ugly spill into the post. Because he got an attempt towards net, it looks like they're not going to be calling this a penalty shot, but Schmidt will be heading off to the sin bin with 15:35 to go in the third, and we'll bring up another First Franklin Financial penalty kill. Storjahan, that goal to 218 mark, his 19th of the year. Team leading 41st point for the River Dragons this season. Assists going to Austin Doe and Greco. Greco picks up assist number 11. Doe, assist number 23. For what you might be missing with Edgar's Ozelinch and his size and nastiness, if you will, Michael Greco still up there too. He's 5th in the FPHL in penalty minutes coming into this game, but he factors into the offense and brings the Dragons back within 2. Now a deflection attempt from the blue line, and Salak had that one go wide. Petrantonio will backhand this one all the way down. Schmidt hooking. 15 seconds already gone in it. 4-2. Carolina leads with the man advantage. They are 1 for 5 so far tonight. Salak will lay this one back here for Kennedy. Kennedy at his own blue line. Drop back here for Rowe. Rowe for Panachik, right wing side. Panachik, right circle. Stops it up at the hash marks with it. Now he works it back here for Rowe at the right point. Rowe being watched by Kelly, and now Petrantonio offers some token pressure. Rogers finds it underneath the goal line, up to his captain and Petrantonio. Weird bounce off the glass, but it will work for going down the length of the ice. Halfway through the Schmidt penalty. Here's Peavy with the puck. Doe on him. He sandwiches the hit with Vanelli on the other end. Here's Rowe. Turnaround. Great glove save, Colgan. As Rowe's turnaround pass hit Butita right on the tape. And Brendan Colgan says, look what I found. 14:27 to go in the third. Thunderbirds 4, Dragons 2, 52 seconds remaining in the Schmidt Minor. And looks like we'll be heading to a media timeout. We will, in fact. While the team's talking over on the bench, we'll let you hear some words on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Specializes in managing single-family homes, single condos, entire HOAs, small and large apartments, and commercial business properties in the Chattahoochee Valley and beyond. Their expert property management team takes on the day-to-day chores of managing your rental property so you can enjoy a successful investment. Some of the responsibilities they handle are marketing, tenant interactions, lease agreements, and more. See them at ighproperties.net. That's ighproperties.net. IGH Properties. Happy tenants, happy owners, better rentals.
So you've got projects to do around your home. You got Harvey Lumber for that. You've decided to finally get that large deck built in the back for family fun and entertaining like you've been dreaming about for so long. You got Harvey Lumber for that. From replacing a few boards to replacing all the windows to building from the ground up, you've got Harvey Lumber for that. It's kind of like that old saying, there's an app for that. Well, whatever you need in the way of building supplies, there's been a Harvey Lumber for that in the Chattahoochee Valley for over 150 years. Harvey Lumber Company, 815th Street, open Monday through Friday, 7 to 5.
Thank you very much, Bear O'Brien. And we're here in the Harvey Lumber Press Box in Winston-Salem, 4-2. Thunderbirds lead the River Dragons, and Carolina's on a power play for another 52 seconds as Justin Schmidt sits for hooking. Air Force Heating and Air remind you to help keep your house comfortable. Consider a preventative maintenance plan by Air Force Heating and Air. They have a plan that's right for your home and your budget. Media timeout over. Face-off coming to the left of Brendan Colgan. Wickline and Peavy on the draw. Peavy will win it. Carolina with more zone time on the man advantage. One-time attempt by Peavy, and he whiffed on it, hit the heel of his stick. Greco being bothered by Bazarin. Now this will be moved by Butita up the wall to Pashtuka left point. Back for Butita, left wing circle on the dot. His shot's patted away, and Vanelli cleared a juicy rebound in the slot. Austin Doe dumps this down the length. Babick tees it up behind the net. Less than 30 seconds remaining in Schmidt's Minor. He's already standing up in the box, eager to get back out. Here's Peavy, left wing and over the line. Everybody lined up defensively for Columbus. Drop back for Pashtuka. Right wing circle for Butita. Butita for Ford. Wickline nearly intercepted the pass. Now Ford, it gets dumped by Wickline. Here's 2-on-1 with Doe. Wickline, left circle, shoots. Pad save made there by Babick as he was able to reach out with that left leg. Now Schmidt's out of the box. Penalty killed, brought to you by Abercrombie Bonding. Behind the net, Peavy with it, rims it around for Carolina. Butita for Ford, circle to circle. Here's Firth, he shoots, takes a tip off Wickline and goes high onto the glass. Butita with it, and there's some rough stuff in front of the net. Greco and Bazarin are going at it. Colgan offers up a blocker. We get a whistle. Bazarin's looking for a call from the official. Schmidt's going to pull Bazarin out of the pile. Of all the people to be a peacemaker, Justin Schmidt. My word, what has happened since I've left? So we get a whistle. There's some rough stuff, and a linesman is holding on to Bazarin, but he's directing him towards his own bench. And now Jerome Bichard is incensed. He's standing atop the player's bench, and he'll take off the jacket. Jerome Bichard is waiting for an explanation, and I think he's been tossed. Jerome Bichard just went from atop the player's bench where they hoist themselves over to now walking across the ice. And I think that was just a long-distance ejection from one of the referees. That or Jerome's ejected himself to try and fire up his team. We've seen him do that before. But right now, Greco has the only minor up on the board. And that would obviously light up the Columbus bench to be pretty upset about it. Krupp was talking to the officials. Now Petrantonio is outside the referee's crease waiting for an explanation on this. The crowd was reacting while play was up near the blue line. You knew some stuff was going on between Bazarin and Greco. And this might be a case where they pick up the retaliation and not the initial. You just don't know. Justin Schmidt hanging out near the red line, having a chat with some of the Thunderbirds, and a linesman quickly comes over to supervise that. Faster than an overzealous parent at a junior high dance. Now they've brought Jerome Bichard back out. I got nothing for that one. I've seen some nutty stuff in the league. I've seen coaches be ejected. I've seen coaches take themselves out of games. I don't know if I've ever seen a coach leave and then come back in a span of 30 real seconds and the same stoppage. I mean, there's no way nature called. That was way too fast, especially for how long it takes to get across the ice here in Winston. Well, it'll be another First Franklin Financial penalty kill here for the Dragons. 13-14 to go in the third. Greco for roughing. That's the only call out of all of it. Garrett Rutledge is down from his perch wanting to hear the call. And he hears about it from our refereeing crew. 1 for 6 so far today on the penalty kill. On the power play for the Thunderbirds. River Dragons 5 for 6 on the First Franklin Financial penalty kill. None bigger than this one right now, especially after you pretty much went back-to-back with this. Kennedy left circle. Salak in the corner, trying to spin away from Frazier. Pass behind the net. Worked back up to the right point. Here's Rowe. Rowe D-to-D over for Kennedy. Kennedy left wing circle. Panachik with some speed, working it up the half wall. Cycles it back down for Salak. 20 seconds gone in this Thunderbirds power play. Keplinger behind the net. Rowe trying to work it up left point, and Kennedy's not going to get there in time. Thunderbirds regroup in the neutral zone. Keplinger being chased there by Storjahan, offered up a stick, trying to go on a rush. Deflected in the neutral zone. Kelly will grab it, and he will shoot it down the length of the ice. 12.5 left to go here in regulation. River Dragons trail at 4-2, but they have the last goal in this game thanks to their leading point getter, Alex Storjahan. Keplinger coming in, gets through Frazier. From behind the net, though, he gets hit by Vanelli. Rowe with this puck, trying to cycle it over. Frazier hit Keplinger as that one went away from them. Vanelli has it in the far side corner. He's tied up now with Peavy. Right wing circle for Butita. Takes an awkward hop off some skates. Keplinger tried to play it to a danger area. Goes behind the net, and Peavy will rim it around. Rowe with it at the left point. Back for Peavy, left circle. Rowe with it, center point, looks, fires, and that one took a tip and goes high over the head of Colgan, held in by the glass behind. 37 seconds remaining here in the minor penalty. Now up ahead, here's Jemayev trying to go on a break, right circle. He stops up with some space, it's deflected, and Ford took all the momentum off it. If that deflects off him awkwardly, Babic was in a compromising position, and this could have been 4-3. Petrantonio flips it out to center. Peshtuka gloves it, plays it over to Ford. 16 seconds remaining in the Carolina power play. Petrantonio slaps it down the length of the ice. Babic will tee it up here. Wickline. Oh, Babic played it off of Wickline, and now Babic's going to go get it in the near corner. He'll leave it off for Ford. Wickline bothering him. He's got the puck. 2 seconds and 1. Rogers a shot. Deflect. Loose. Oh, no, they give a whistle as that one did end up in Babic's glove. Jelensky's looked like he had a deflection on it, but somehow Babic had it for long enough. Referee blows a quick whistle. Penalty is over. Another successful penalty kill brought to you by Abercrombie Bonding. And the River Dragons are 6 for 7 on that tonight. 11-11 left to go here in the third. River Dragons are leading in shots now, 31-28, a third period advantage of 9-4. But they need to find the back of the net on Babic twice to get back in this one. Wickline wins the draw. Rogers at his own blue line, bothered by Salak. Salak forces it out of him. Petrantonio coming back to help. Will stall out the rush. Petrantonio circle to circle in his own end now for Rogers. Giving it across. Here's Jelensky's that hit him awkwardly on the heel of the stick, trying to get to it before Panachik does. And Wickline a little fancy behind the back move, but couldn't get that puck back. Firth from the red line flips this one in over into the near corner. Colgan comes out of his net to play it, sends it around for his captain, Petrantonio. He'll reverse course, and now Rogers has it along the near sideboards. 10:40 left to go here in the third. Rogers facing some pressure there from Butita. Now Petrantonio's pass, a long way for no one in particular. And as Scott Brand, I'm sure, said multiple times on his calls, pass intended for no one, found its target, and icing is the call. 10:33 left to go in the third. Got to make sure to give him credit. Whenever I would steal that from him when he was on the call with me, he'd give me some really dirty looks. So I'm sure wherever Scott is listening, either at a Waffle House or at his own house back in Columbus, we hope he's having a nice night. From the red line, Kennedy will dump this one in for Carolina. 10:25 to go here in the third. Keplinger pass to the slot. Krupp knocks that one away. Here's Petrantonio with it, far side corner. Goes off the glass. Jelensky's gloves it out towards center. Kennedy knocks it there for Ford, and we play on. Ford across the Thunderbird logo at center. Right wing circle. Can't get around Petrantonio. He's all over him as Ford reverses it to the left wing corner for Keplinger. Keplinger being watched there by Rogers. Now cycles for Butita. Pass across. Good stick there by Wickline. Prevents that backdoor play for Gus Ford. Now Keplinger with it. Bottom of the right wing circle. Moves it up the half wall. Right point. Kennedy shot. That one patted away. Real quick on the pinball flippers there was Colgan. Ford behind the net. Escapes Rogers with it on the far side. Now goes back to the near corner. Butita. Back up to the top for Martin. This looks like a power play for Carolina. It's still 5-on-5. 9:37 to go here in the third. Wickline intercepts a pass behind his own net. Now he moves it up. Trying to work it ahead for Krupp. Krupp, no icing as Babic will come out of his net. Looked like Krupp was going to win the race anyways. Now this one moved by Ford. It goes into his own bench. And it stays within the glassed area, so no penalty, out of play, media timeout. 9:23 to go in the third. Dragons trail by 2 here on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby. The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
In 1999, Watley Convenience Stores opened its first Zelmo's Zip-In. Since then, the brand has grown to include 11 stores in the Chattahoochee Valley and southwest Georgia. Zelmo's is an anchor in the communities it operates in. Our managers, employees, and vendors are all an integral part of the neighborhoods and communities we serve. We're proud to call these areas home and plan to continue growing with and serving the communities of West Georgia and East Alabama. Zelmo's, fueling life's passions.
Back here at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex, Columbus River Dragons Inside Edge season ticket memberships are still available for the 22-23 season. The Inside Edge gives you exclusive access to team events with players, promotional giveaways, merchandise discounts, ticket priority for select Civic Center events, and River Dragons playoffs, plus ticket exchange privileges and more. Call 706-507-GOAL. That's 706-507-4625 to score your Inside Edge membership today. 4-2, Thunderbirds in front of the River Dragons. Columbus, the only goal to speak of in this third period, came at the 2:18 mark from Alex Storjahan, and 9:23 left to go. Columbus into the offensive zone off of that neutral zone draw. Kelly got run over on a high hit there from Firth. Kelly a little slow to get up, but he's back onto his feet, and we're playing on. Schmidt moves this one over to Storjahan. He's the River Dragons' latest goal scorer. Kelly with it at the right point. He's checked there by Bazarin. Doe with it in the corner. Doe gets run into, up the wall. Paul Fraziot, right point. His shot, that one gloved by Grebennikov. And we'll go over to the far wing, picked up there by Rowe. Rowe, a backhand, intercepted by Storjahan, high slot. Storjahan tried to pull it back for a pass, and the puck just eluded him. He's still working for it on the half wall. Kelly with it, right circle. Pass across, deflect by Doe. Pulled down by Peavy. Peavy pushed Doe into his netminder, and the puck goes out to the neutral zone, so Carolina's defense can eventually regroup. Babbitt's without his stick, and Fraziot didn't see that from his own end. Otherwise, maybe he might have thought about a 140-foot shot. His pass to Storjahan is wide. He couldn't get a tip, and icing is the call. 8:23 left to go now in the IGH Properties third period. Stick around, fans. After this game, it's the Pepsi postgame show. The Wade Cleaners 3 stars of the game. And now you'd have to say Carolina in line for at least 2 of them. Who knows, maybe even 3, as River Dragons, they have 5 different point getters, so nobody's got a multi-point night yet for the Dragons. Fraziot chips this one. Cox got slowed up. Gill couldn't get to that puck. Salak will find it instead. Panachik for Martin at his own blue line. Peshtuka near side deflects that one in. No icing. Colgan put his glove up thinking Peshtuka had missed the tip, but no, to no avail. Peshtuka behind the net. Backhand pass in front, just out of the reach of Salak. Now here comes Ryan Gill. Gill with Cox trending towards the middle. Gill gets checked into it by Peshtuka. Rimmed around the boards. Kennedy on it first. Cox puts a hit onto him. Kennedy will dump it down. Icing is on. The puck will not get there, though, as it could not be. Vanelli couldn't slow up enough to prevent a play. Gill trending back towards his own net, being watched by Salak. And now the handoff behind the net here for Greco. Greco for Vanelli. Now out of their own zone of the Dragons. Petrantonio, right wing. That one deflected. Ford has it. Gets around Vanelli, trying to get around Greco. Petrantonio, great back check to cut off Keplinger. And now the captain's got some speed. Petrantonio, left wing. Looks, fire, save made by Babic. As Petrantonio was trying to go underneath the arm. And Babic closed that up nicely with 7:12 left to go here in the third period. River Dragons captain, once formerly a captain here in Carolina. Part of their 2018-2019 Commissioners Cup season with the Thunderbirds. Was named league MVP that year as well. And he's gone on to replicate some great performances and good level of production in his career as a River Dragon. Rogers with a shot. That one pinballed off a couple of bodies. Ford trying to spring Butita ahead, but Rogers closed that one down at the red line. He'll backhand that one into the zone. Babic with it behind the net. Rims it around, too far out of the reach of Bianni. And now here's Wickline with it on a pass from Krupp. Wickline dodges a hit there from Bianni, who lost his stick. That gives some space there for Wickline. Now he's trying to get to this puck as Bianni will shove him into the boards. Wickline still with it, tied up, 2-on-2 battle, near side half wall. 6:42 left to go in the third. Bianni, ooh, that puck caught Keplinger in the side of the head. Petrantonio's shot, that one gets blocked. Keplinger still a little bit stunned by it. Fraziot holds in at the right point. Now he engages with Keplinger down the ice. Icing is the call against Carolina. No, they say it took a tip inside the Columbus half. So we play on, and Carolina's allowed to change. That's a bit of a break there for the Thunderbirds. Petrantonio sends that one skyward. Bianni in his own end, left wing, pass too far out of the reach of Rowe. Now Rogers will have it. 6:08 to go here in period 3. Dragons down by 2. Wickline ahead for Krupp, trying to get around Bianni. He dives, good stick to take that one away from Krupp. Kelly a shot, that one gets blocked by Schnapp, and now he's ahead with numbers. 3-on-2 for the Thunderbirds. Schnapp drops it back, too strong for Peavy. Now the Dragons have 3-on-2 the other way. Krupp on the right wing with Storjahan and Kelly. Krupp can't get around Daniel Martin, who sold out his body to prevent the rush. Rowe reaching back. This is an offside play. If he touches it, he does. We get a whistle. Storjahan will dump him. And where's the face-off going to be? This is one of those cases where it could be intentional offsides. And now we get some pushing and shoving on the far side of Colgan's net. As Schnapp, it looks like, is involved with Greco. Those two very familiar combatants. Now Martin's got a man pinned against the glass. It's Jay Krupp. Now Krupp will spin the advantage to try and pin him against the glass, and Krupp will live to fight another day as he separates himself from Martin before the linesmen do. Out of all of this, it was an offside play that very well could have been called an intentional offsides. There's no way that a player would know he had control the way that Kennedy thought he did. Now Schnapp gets an extra shot in at Greco, and Greco responds back. And what are we going to get out of all of this? Rowe is chasing after a referee while Greco is being escorted to the box by a linesman. And I think Rowe is trying to bail out Schnapp, perhaps. It's also entirely possible that Rowe is pleading his innocence as Schnapp's not on the ice. I might be misreading the 6 and the 9. No, there's Schnapp. I wasn't crazy. I am wondering why Carolina has 6 men on the ice right now, though. That seems to be an issue. Butita did come to speak at the referee's crease, so perhaps he was the 6th. Schnapp gets put in the box, as you can hear from the boos of the crowd. And we have got some shenanigans to sort out. 5:37 left to go here in the third period. 4-2, Thunderbirds in front of the River Dragons. Columbus trying to avoid being swept for the first time this season, while Carolina trying to pick up some much-needed points in the race in the Continental Division. They sit third right now at 48. However, in points percentage, because of how many games Port Huron has played and Carolina has in hand, the Thunderbirds are the second-best team by points percentage in the division. Everybody's still chasing Columbus, and the Thunderbirds this weekend's gone exactly how they'd like it to go so far. So John Butita's got a look on his face like he's none too happy. However, Greco is being escorted out of the penalty box. Petrantonio's trying to calm him down as he makes his way over to the tunnel. And I think Schnapp's been ejected too. So the crowd's going to go from jubilation to being absolutely irate. Let's listen. Right on cue. So we'll wait for all them to sort it out. Schnapp and Greco are off the ice. We presume their night is done. With 2 minutes, plus even if you gave them additional 10s, they wouldn't make it to an eventual 5-minute overtime should we even get there. River Dragons would need 2 more goals to get to that point. It's 4-2 Thunderbirds. Your scoring summary right now in this game. Carolina had a 2-0 lead through the opening period of play. Keplinger extended a point streak, now 9 games in a row, after he registered a snipe in the top right corner, 15:06 mark, with assists going to Martin and Ford. Lead was then doubled up by Jacob Schnapp on the power play. 1 second left in the Krupp minor. Schnapp doubled up the lead 2-0 through that opening 20 minutes. Carolina would extend the lead heading into the second, 11:40 mark. Yuri Peshtuka with his first goal of the game, 9th of the season, and Daniel Martin picked up an assist to give himself a multi-point night. River Dragons finally found the back of the net on a little bang-bang play. Ryan Gill and Jake Cox. Cox buried a rebound at the 15:24 mark for his 4th goal of the year, and it was 3-1 at that point. Jerome Bichard is heading off of his bench towards the ice, or towards the locker room, across the ice, I should say. And you're not sure. Has he been thrown out? Does he need to just go cool himself off? He's done this before. Oh boy. Jerome Bichard's gone into the locker room. The insider over on that side has let us know, relayed up, that Michael Greco might be having a situation. What exactly that entails, we don't know. Greco was hot leaving the ice. So we'll find out perhaps later what goes on there. Meanwhile, back to the scoring summary. Peshtuka would double his goal count for the day at the 18:03 mark of the second period, making it 4-1. Salak and Panachik picking up assists on an all-check tally. That made it 4-1 through 40 minutes of play. Now Jerome Bichard's coming back onto the ice, and now I think he's been tossed. Now I think he's officially been tossed from the game. Referees were just pointing at Jerome as if to get out, but Jerome is just going to headstrong walk back to the bench. What in the world is going on down there? In the third period, Alex Storjahan made the game 4-2, 2:18 into the third, assist to Doe and to Greco. That was on the power play. 4-2 our score, 5:37 to go in the third. It was just an offside play that created this issue. And when your sides are off, go see Sherry, an old school barbershop in downtown Columbus. Apparently Jerome just needed some water. He wanted a beverage on his way back to the locker room because now a linesman is escorting him off. He's got words and is glaring at the officials. I wouldn't say getting his money worth, but really taking his time, making it valuable, if you will, as he heads off. You have to wonder if he will take the water bottle with him. Odds on the water bottle staying with Jerome into the locker room. Not quite sure. He's going to spin around, try and talk to Colgan. He's going to offer him the water. He's like, here, Brendan, let me put this on the back of your net for you. So if you would have taken no, Jerome does not enter the locker room with the water bottle, you would have won. Perhaps not for the reason you would have thought. Greco's gone. Schnapp's gone. And out of all of this, Jerome Bichard is gone as well. There's a 2-minute minor on the board to Greco with 5:37 to go in the third. Krupp has gone in to serve it. How much extra and coinciding we have in terms of penalty math, we are still attempting to figure out. We can tell you Columbus has put 4 on the ice. Carolina's put 5. We're ready to go with yet another First Franklin Financial penalty kill. First Franklin Financial personal loans at the speed of life. The speed of life of a normal hockey player is much faster than this, I will say. This has been a lengthy delay. And Brandon Colgan gets his gear back on, and now it seems we are finally ready to resume action. Peavy and Storjahan on the draw. One by Carolina. That goes through Ford's legs. Kelly trying to make him pay for it. Kelly couldn't get in front of Ford as he rubbed shoulders and prevented a breakout attempt. Peavy will take this behind his own net. A handoff here for Gus Ford. Been relatively quiet in today's game. Just one secondary assist on the game's opening goal. Ford checked by Petrantonio. Puck loose. The River Dragons captain finds it. Sends it down the length of the ice. Kelly racing Peshtuka. Babbick's going to come out of his net. Peshtuka gave gave Kelly a shot there. Babbick was almost caught in the crossfire. Here's Butita. 3-on-1. Kennedy shot high over the bar. Hits the glass. Springs back. Frazier, a backhand dump. It'll roll all the way to the Carolina Blue. It'll be found by Tucker Firth. Firth for Ford. Frazier gets to it first. A whole lot of F names as that one's dumped down into the Carolina end. Firth with it again. Pass behind Ford, and down the ice it goes. Rogers will have it, bottom of the circles, not enough steam for icing. 4.5 left to go here in the third, under a minute to go in that Greco outstanding penalty. Rogers a shot, that one had some speed on it, and it was sticked away by Babbick, and it will go into the crowd for a souvenir here in one of the party pits in Winston-Salem. 4:27 to go in the third, and we should have a media timeout coming out of this. We have not hit the horn yet, but the referees have signaled it. I think they're actually still trying to figure out the penalty situation, but this should be the media timeout. Let's go ahead and take it right now. Back in a minute on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Property specializes in managing single-family homes, single condos, entire HOAs, small and large apartments, and commercial business properties in the Chattahoochee Valley and beyond. Their expert property management team takes on the day-to-day chores of managing your rental property so you can enjoy a successful investment. Some of the responsibilities they handle are marketing, tenant interactions, lease agreements, and more. See them at ighproperties.net. That's ighproperties.net. IGH Properties. Happy tenants, happy owners, better rentals.
Craving a burrito, some nachos, or maybe even a quesadilla? Head to Barbaritos. Their menu includes only the freshest ingredients, and your order is custom made how you want it on the spot. Barbaritos is founded on freshness, and everything from our handmade guacamole to our marinades are made right in-house. And don't forget, you can order online at barbaritos.com or through our handy mobile app. Barbaritos. Food, community, people.
Back here at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex, 4:27 to go here in the third period. While we were at the break, we had a little penalty box musical chairs. Jay Krupp has been tossed out of the game, and now Jake Cox is into the penalty box to serve. What we believe is still just Greco's minor. Krupp on a game misconduct. And we're back underway with a face-off to the left of Babbick. Dragons still down a man for 50 seconds. Thunderbirds win this draw. Here comes Rowe up ahead, left wing side. Rowe 2-on-2 as he hits the line for Salak. Salak, left wing circle, lays this one back. Here's Keplinger, shot right circle, it leaks in. Power play goal for the Thunderbirds. That's going to be the dagger. 5-2 Carolina. Josh Keplinger, his second goal of the game. That should just about do it here. Another power play goal as well. The Thunderbirds 2 for 8 on the man advantage tonight. And no matter what way you slice it, and you give a team 8 power plays in a game, that's never a good sign if you're Columbus. 4:09 to go in the third. 5-2 our score. Do a face-off at center ice. We're back to 5-on-5. The Columbus bench is getting very, very thin. No Jerome Bichard, no Michael Greco, and in that last media timeout, no Jay Krupp. Oh, a big high stick. Firth just caught Jemayeff, and Firth just jawed at Jemayeff while he's down. Oh, this game's getting real spicy now, and we'll see what they do with Tucker Firth. Gill and a little do-si-do with Rowe. And everybody's a lot of talking and a lot of why I oughting. The fun part about it is normally when a weekend's over, you say, all right, we move on to the next opponent. The problem for these two teams is their next opponents are each other, and the venue then changes to the Columbus Civic Center. 3:57 left to go here in the third. 5-2. Thunderbirds and River Dragons here in the Annex in just another chapter in the old Southern hockey rivalry. Of course, going to maybe have to come up with a bit of a different name as the league continues to expand further south, but with Biloxi and then Baton Rouge picking up neutral site games and likely to be in the league next year. Frazier shot from the right point. That one a save made. 3:52 left to go here in the third. 5-2. Thunderbirds in front of the River Dragons. It's another Georgia power play. River Dragons 1 for 4 on the night. Face-off coming to the left of Babbitt. And the Thunderbirds are making a late change here. Oh, we're getting a timeout called. So it looks like a timeout was just called on the Columbus bench. And the teams will talk this one over. 5-2, Carolina in front. That most recent goal scored by Keplinger. His second of the game. Lucas Rowe and Jan Salak pick up assists on the power play tally. Keplinger, second of the game, 17th of the season. As you would think he'd be one of the leaders on the Thunderbirds, but when you got guys like Gus Ford and Lucas Rowe, not only leading the league in goals, but two of them in the top 5, tough to get that Thunderbirds team lead. Here it is, 5-2. Carolina poised to sweep Columbus. First sweep the River Dragons will suffer this season, barring a miracle. Face-off coming to the left of Babbitt. That one was won by Carolina, but Wickline tried to anticipate in the corner. This will be picked out by Salak on the backhand. Storjahan knocks it away before it gets out. Kelly with it at the left point. To Frazier, center point. Now right circle over for Storjahan. Storjahan to Doe, right corner. Pass knocked away, and that one played back into the corner by Kennedy. Wickline trying to move at it. Doe with it here, right wing corner. He pulls it out of feet to the center point. Frazier fires a shot. Took a tip on the way through as Panachik blocked his vision. Kelly tied up along the wall. Frazier has it left point. Panachik gets it away from him, and now Panachik's in all alone. Storjahan racing back with speed. Panachik turns it into a 2-on-1, waiting for Martin. Pass across. Great pad save made there by Colgan. Frazier goes after Martin for a little bit of a poke at his netminder after the fact, and the linesman will settle everything down. 3:03 left to go in the third. 1:07 still left in the Georgia power play. And the Thunderbirds with yet another grade A scoring chance. Face-off coming to the right of Colgan. Still 5-on-4 advantage for Columbus, but about 160 feet away from the net. They need to be scoring on in bunches. Jemayev wins the draw. Panachik ties up with a defenseman in the corner. That's Vanelli. And now Panachik bothering Jemayev for the puck as he gets it up ahead. Here's Gill. Gill with this right wing circle. Checked by Grebennikov. They tie up, and the puck's loose for Panachik, and he sends it down the length. 2:45 to go here in the third. 45 seconds remaining in the minor penalty. Vanelli from behind his own net. Rogers with it. Right wing side. Rogers. Grebennikov took an ugly spill trying to check him. This is a high stick. Grebennikov will touch it to negate that play from the Dragons. He'll just dump it in. Colgan will slow it up there. And it's taken behind the net now by Gill. 2:15 to go in the third. 18 seconds remaining in the high-sticking minor to Firth. If Colgan's going to go to the bench, you figure now would be the time. Gill trying to move this one in around Kennedy. Kennedy holds him up along the blue line. Back out of the neutral zone it goes. Kennedy with it, 2-on-3, right wing circle with it. Vanelli missed a check there. Kennedy still with it in the corner. Storjahan knocks him down while he had the puck. Crowd wants a call. The man had the puck. Doe for Vanelli. Now Doe will take this one out of the air with it, left wing circle. He shoots. That one blocked by Kennedy. 100 seconds to go in the game. Rowe with it, one-on-one with Frazier. Left circle, shoots, and he scores. I think that one went off the post, off the back of Colgan and in, because Frazier reached back thinking he could get to it. He did not. And it's all gravy here for Carolina right now, 6-2 Thunderbirds. Well, Lucas Rowe picks up his 21st goal of the season. Among those chasing Gus Ford at the very top of the FPHL leaderboard. Ford has 24. He doesn't have a goal in this game, but Rowe just picked up his 21st. And now we're going to get a scrap to end the night. Schmidt and French, they tie up. French tries to get the first. Schmidt connects a couple in on the right. Now he finds one across the jaw. French holding on. Schmidt changes to the left. Pounds in a couple on the side of the head. He's got French reeling. Schmidt down to a knee, picks himself back up. French's jersey is gone. Linesmen intervene. Wouldn't be River Dragons hockey without their Ice Wars champion, Justin Schmidt. He'll find a way to get himself on the score sheet, and that River Dragons bench gets just a little bit thinner. Bryce French also heads off, likely just matching fives for fighting. And we've got 91 seconds of formality and hopefully politeness and manners to get through. Will that happen? I don't know. Nobody ever knows, do they? So never mind the fact that I didn't count officially on the official sheet, but I think the River Dragons were already playing down a man thanks to the two suspensions. Here's Peavy on the backhand. He just sent that one wide of the glove hand on Colgan. I think they were playing down a man. You've got three people out of the game now in Greco, Krupp, and now Schmidt. And Jerome Bichard has been ejected from the game too. That leaves you with a backup goalie, and it looks like by my count 7 skaters atop the 5 that are on the ice right now for Columbus and that have iced the puck with 1:05 left to go here in period 3. Thunderbirds 6, River Dragons 2, 1:05 to go here in the third. And remember, we're just halfway through this double weekend series. Columbus and Carolina, they'll play again in the Civic Center. You get your tickets at the Civic Center box office. It's sure to be spicy the way these two games have gone. Peavy, Firth, Petrantonio chops at Firth, and a penalty is going to come up there on the captain. Firth was holding on to Petro there pretty hard. Petro didn't like it. Gave him a whack across the chest. And I think Petro is just going to say, that's fine, I won't sit in the box. I'll just head off to the room. Jerome Bichard's been watching the game from the player's entrance while he's been ejected. For how long, we're not sure. And what's unfortunate is because Petro has chosen to serve his penalty in the locker room is somebody will still have to go serve that, and thus the River Dragons bench gets even thinner. I mean, it's just a spectacle. And I'd be more surprised if this wasn't just another day in the Fed. How many low benches you've seen, from penalties to travel to any number of reasons why. The River Dragons are enduring that. They're enduring a 4-goal deficit. They have another First Franklin Financial penalty to kill. First Franklin Financial, personal loans at the speed of life. Thunderbirds 6, River Dragons 2. Face off to the left of Colgan, tied up. Dragons win it. Rogers dumps it down the length of the ice. Babbitt with it He will tee it up, and it's taken by Firth. Moves this one over. Keplinger now ahead now for Bianey. 3-on-3 as he hits the line. Bianey, high slot, over. Peavy wanted the one-timer, couldn't pull the trigger. Keplinger, shot! And that one missed wide. Colgan was out to cut down the angle. Keplinger now also on hat-trick watch, but there's 26 seconds left in the game. Bianey tied up at the point there with Cox. Vanelli works this out to the neutral zone. Bianey gets to it before Gill does. Crowd starts to swell. They're saluting their Thunderbirds. Keplinger a shot, blocker save into the netting. And we'll have at least one more face-off, 10.8 left to go here in the third. Thunderbirds will move to 18-7-1 and be on a 2-game winning streak out of this weekend sweep. River Dragons, a 2-game losing streak. They'll drop to 23-4-1. That will close out their first half of the season. Face-off won by Carolina. First shot, blocked. Peavy scores. Some extra salt in the wound for Columbus. Blake Peavy lets one rip from the slot. It's 7-2. Thunderbirds in front, nearly matching last night's scoreline. Gill and Peavy, they touch gloves after the ceremonial face-off to end it. And the Annex crowd explodes off the back of 15 goals and a weekend sweep of their rivals, the Columbus River Dragons. The team jump piles around Boris Babbitt. Could very well be named one of the stars today. 32 saves on 34 shots. Plenty of offense out of the Carolina Thunderbirds as well. They're likely to sweep our Wade Cleaners 3 stars. And the River Dragons head off and lick their wounds and get ready to welcome Carolina into their building next weekend. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
River Dragons Hockey on WKC and HD2 Forbidding South, Columbus, and W295AY Crystal Valley. 106.9 really rocks.
7-2, Thunderbirds defeat the River Dragons. The Pepsi postgame show is next here on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Announcing Wade Cleaner's newest location at 6801 River Road, located just across from the new VA hospital. This location has a drive-thru and is open 6 days a week. Tell us you heard this and receive 25% off your first visit. Wade Cleaners, since 1939.
If you're looking for quality dental work, look no further than Largeman Dental in Columbus, the River Dragons' trusted oral care provider. Largeman Dental provides cleaning services, restorative work, cosmetics, prosthetics, and Invisalign braces too. Dr. Largeman has over 19 years of clinical experiences in all phases of dentistry and holds memberships in 4 different esteemed dental societies. Set your next appointment by calling 706-322-6581 or visit them online at largemandental.com.
The Jersey Shop specializes in screen printing, embroidery, direct-to-garment printing, and vinyl heat-press lettering and numbering. We provide custom t-shirts for any occasion and have a graphic designer on staff to make the logos or graphics needed to make your shirts unique. We pride ourselves on being able to deliver orders of any size at low, competitive cost with no minimum quantity. That's why the River Dragons trust the Jersey Shop for all of their uniform needs. Call 706-565-4245. That's 565-4245.
It's time for the Pepsi postgame show on the River Dragons Broadcast Network. Tonight's show is brought to you by Pepsi, Air Force Heating and Air, Beam TV, Zelmo Zip-In, and Wade Cleaners. Now with a recap of tonight's action, here's Tom Callahan.
Zach Debeaussaert filling in for Tom Callahan this weekend, or at least this half of the weekend, as Tom was out dealing with some personal matters, but he'll be back on the call next weekend, and it'll be a fun rematch weekend between these same two teams. Columbus falls to Carolina 7-2, a combined weekend score 15-4, and the River Dragons are swept for the first time in the 2022-23 season. They're announcing the 3 stars of the game here in the building. 3 stars of the game brought to you by Wade Cleaners, the official cleaners of Torch and Scorch. They are going to go all Carolina as expected. Star number 3, Josh Keplinger with 2 goals. Daniel Martin has come out for the second star, though we were shown a sheet that said Yuri Pestuka was the second star with 2 goals himself. Daniel Martin did have 2 assists, a good night for him. And Boris Babic was star number 1 with a 32-save night on 34 shots. Other Carolina Thunderbirds who were lighting up the score sheet, Jan Salak actually led the way in points across all teams. He had 3 assists in today's game. Daniel Martin with the 2 assists, as we mentioned. Lucas Rowe, a goal and an assist. Blake Peavy, a goal and an assist. And then you look down at the one-pointers. Jacob Schnapp had a goal. He was also ejected from the game. Joseph Kennedy, Gus Ford, Peter Panachik, and John Putita all picked up assists in the game as well. Meanwhile, on the other side of things for the Columbus River Dragons, Alex Storjahan and Jake Cox were your goal scorers and assists across the goals. Ryan Gill assisted on Jake Cox's goal. Storjahan's goal was assisted by Austin Doe and Michael Greco, who also found himself ejected from this game. However, Greco's only listed for 4 penalty minutes, so I'm not sure if they just haven't updated that or if somehow things have changed. But either way, Greco was not a part of the game from about the 10-minute mark on, so not entirely sure why he's only credited with 4 penalty minutes. If anything, he probably wants Norp Pims to try and raise himself up that leaderboard. He came into the game 5th in the league across penalty minutes. Did have a fight at the end of the game. We had Bryce French going with Justin Schmidt. That really brought the crowd to their feet. And really, the crowd of just over 3,200, I do believe, was announced here in Winston-Salem. Back-to-back sellouts for these games against Columbus. 33-42, my mistake. Crowd of 33-42, for the most part, go home happy. We did see a smattering of teal and black CRD jerseys throughout the building, but as you heard, it was a very pro-Thunderbird environment, and they spurred their team on to this 7-2 victory. Carolina gets the win. They get the 3 points. They're up to 51 now on the year with an 18-7-1 record. Columbus, they stay at 68, 23-4-1. This ends their first half of the season. So if really you double their point total at 68, they're on pace for 136 points, which is still a very high mark and would best their mark that they had back in the 21-22 season when they went all the way and fell 1 goal short against the Watertown Wolves. We'll be back with more of the Pepsi postgame show after this on the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Announcing Wade Cleaner's newest location at 6801 River Road, located just across from the new VA hospital. This location has a drive-thru and is open 6 days a week. Tell us you heard this and receive 25% off your first visit. Wade Cleaners, since 1939.
Complete Tire and Service, located at 3109 Victory Drive in Columbus, is the perfect place to take care of everything your vehicle needs. From preventive maintenance to alignments, brakes, oil changes, and more, your friends at Complete Tire and Service have you covered. Need tires? Buy 3, get 1 free for passenger vehicles. Call 706-321-8133 to set up your appointment. 321-8133. Complete Tire and Service on the web at ctstires.com. ZipIn.com. In 1999, Watley Convenience Stores opened its first Zelmo's Zip-In. Since then, the brand has grown to include 11 stores in the Chattahoochee Valley and Southwest Georgia. Zelmo's is an anchor in the communities it operates in. Our managers, employees, and vendors are all an integral part of the neighborhoods and communities we serve. We're proud to call these areas home and plan to continue growing with and serving the communities of West Georgia and East Alabama. Zelmo's, fueling life's passions.
Welcome back into the Pepsi postgame show. Thunderbirds fall to the River Dragons. Thunderbirds beat the River Dragons 7-2. And the River Dragons, they are swept for the first time in the 2022-23 season, taking 0 points on the weekend. And, well, they get to look forward to the Carolina Thunderbirds coming into their barn next weekend. Tom Callahan will be back on the call for you here. You can get your tickets at Ticketmaster or call the Civic Center box office. We take a look at the rest of the FPHL on our Zelmo Zip-In out-of-town scoreboard. Zelmo Zip-In, fueling life's passions since 1999. Port Huron holds on for a 4-3 win over Motor City. The Rockers were up 2-0 early on in the second period. Port Huron went on a run of 4 goals in 11 minutes and 5 seconds. Scott Koch had a power play tally late in the second, but a scoreless third period backstopped by Chris Paulin, recently reacquired by Port Huron. I think he's on his second or third stint there with the Prowlers. Allowed Port Huron to come away with the win in all 3 points, shutting down all 11 Motor City shots in that third period. Taking a look over at the Thunderdome, the Delaware Fairgrounds Center Ice Arena, and the Thunder have a lead, 7.5 minutes gone in the third period of play. Thunder 2, Mammoth 1. We left this game with the Mammoth up 1-0. And our scoring update has frozen, unfortunately, so we are trying to get... There we go. Rasmus Asp and Danila Milushkin have the goals, and they were within a minute and 14 seconds of each other on the power play. Elmira, they had a whole run of penalties there in the late part of the second period, so that'll explain that. So Delaware, 2 power play goals, have them in front 2-1. Watertown and Binghamton in the Battle of New York. They're also going to be in the third period in this one. 4-0 Binghamton in front. 5 minutes gone in the third period of play. Binghamton really putting it on at home with goals from Lopez, Kirkby, Jurich, and then Lopez again. He has the most recent one that was scored 27 seconds into the third period of play. And Danbury and Mississippi from the Mississippi Coast Coliseum. This was an 8:05 start, so they're a little bit later or earlier on. 4.5 minutes gone in the second, 1-1 the score. Jake Raleigh and Johnny Ruiz, the goal scorers for their respective teams. That's your look around the FPHL, brought to you by Zelmo Zip-In. Let's take one more break, close out the broadcast, and get ready for next weekend. Tom Callahan will be back, and Carolina will be in Columbus. After this, on the River Dragons Broadcast Network.
Plumbing and Drain is your trusted plumber in Columbus and beyond. We go the extra mile to show up on time, diagnose your situation quickly, and get to the root of the problem. Blue Frog is here to deliver the right solution the first time, and we're available 24/7 because plumbing emergencies don't keep office hours. Blue Frog Plumbing and Drain. Less mess, less stress. On the web at bluefrogplumbing.com or call 706-887-6433.
If you're looking for quality dental work, look no further than Largeman Dental in Columbus, the River Dragons' trusted oral care provider. Largeman Dental provides cleaning services, restorative work, cosmetics, prosthetics, and Invisalign braces too. Dr. Largeman has over 19 years of clinical experiences in all phases of dentistry and holds memberships in 4 different esteemed dental societies. Set your next appointment by calling 706-322-6581 or visit them online at largemandental.com.
Hydrolife Therapy in Old Town is your one-stop recovery shop to get you back to 100%. With IV therapy treatments, cryotherapy, and compression therapy all under one roof. Hydrolife treatments are packed with nutrients to increase energy and boost your immune system. Join the IV League today for the most affordable way to feel better, look better, and start accomplishing more. Online at hydrolifetherapy.com/Columbus. Hydrolife Therapy. Start living your best life.
Vector Ply Corporation Corporation is a world-leading manufacturer of carbon, fiberglass, and Kevlar composite fabrics located in Phoenix City, Alabama. Our customers depend on us to produce iconic brands such as Malibu and Nautique Boat and the historic C8 mid-engine Corvette. Even the light poles surrounding the Columbus Civic Center were produced by a Vector Ply customer using Vector Ply fabrics. If you're looking for an exciting career with a growing manufacturer located right here in the Chattahoochee Valley, visit our website, vectorply.com.
Welcome back into the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. 7-2, the Thunderbirds pick up the home win, the home sweep of Columbus, and now the series shifts to the Columbus Civic Center. 4 straight against each other. And after Carolina really laid down the gauntlet, not only on the ice, but really in the fan support too, I believe, counting it up, there's like 6,500 in terms of the attendance number between the two games. And you know Columbus can seat more than that just in one game. So River Dragons fans should get themselves out to the Civic Center next Friday and Saturday. Tom Callahan will be back on the call. And, of course, get yourself out to the game. Be loud for one of the best rivalries in all of low-level minor league hockey. We saw it unfold on the ice today. It was an absolute blast to call for you here tonight. Very fun to get back behind this mic, even if it's just for a night. I hope all of you enjoyed it just as much as I did for you here today. That'll do it for us here from the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds Annex. Big thanks to Stephen Pierce, who was running the board for radio, Brandon Schwoebel running our video production, Abby Schwoebel doing digital content monitoring, and all of you listening back home, whether you're on YouTube or across the River Dragons radio network. It has been a pleasure. It's been so much fun, and until next time, whenever that may be, I'll see you then. Until then, have a good night, everybody, and go Dragons. One more time, your final score. Carolina 7, Columbus 2. They're back at it again on Civic Center Ice next weekend. Get yourself out there. It should be a lot of fun. Good night, everybody, from the Columbus River Dragons Broadcast Network.
You've been listening to the Pepsi Postgame Show on the River Dragons Broadcast Network. Tonight's show was brought to you by Pepsi, Air Force Heating and Air, Beam TV, Zelmo Zip-In, and Wade Cleaners. All rights to this broadcast are reserved by the Columbus River Dragons and ThunderBirds Broadcasting for the private use of their audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution or the descriptions or accounts of this game are expressly prohibited without the written consent of Ignite Sports and Entertainment and ThunderBirds Broadcasting. This has been a presentation of the Columbus